dispatch the military to take out the conservative justices on the court.
Not Sammy Alito. He's packing.
Think so?
Not Thomas and Alito. You're not taking them out that way. You better send rockets in there. But are they going to win in this battle? Republicans have saluted this and all, but they haven't been as good yet at telling us exactly why this is the right thing. All right, so this is a lot of breaking stuff here. And it seems to me the sentencing will be delayed. Now, that would mean certainly Trump will be at the convention then, 2 weeks or more. Is Marchand going to say, well, I don't know how to sentence this because we have this situation around what is the metric to use? Is this official or not? I mean, some of this is tarnished. I mean, you could argue the actions were done before Trump was president, so they were private. But then a lot of the testimony certainly is in the mesh of the presidency. It's going to be interesting to see who sorts this out. All right, here's a little bit of John Yoo, who has been a little bit like the fugitive here. We're tracking him down.
John? Come on, Professor.
He's popping in on Fox there. Come on, this is your hometown here. Here's a little bit of what he said on Fox.
Drag letter agreeing to a potential delay. Trump would have to file his motion by July 11th. John Yoo, the prosecution by July 24th. Do you think Judge Marchand agrees?
The DA here is bowing to the inevitable, and this is a test to see if Judge Marchand really is going to do his duty, or is he really that biased against President Trump? Because this week's decision granting the president immunity, one thing that hasn't been noticed by most people is that it applies in state court. It doesn't just apply to Jack Smith's special counsel investigation. It applies to DA investigation in New York, and it applies to Fani Willis's prosecution in Georgia. And so all of these cases have to go back now and say, and look at, was President Trump's conduct, which he's being prosecuted for, involve his official acts or his non-official acts? And even if Bragg were to claim that all the activity was involved with President Trump's non-official acts, he still has to scrutinize and clear out anything in the case that made reference to or used President Trump's conduct while president in his official capacity to make sure it didn't infect his trial. So this should delay, unless these guys are trying to really railroad President Trump, this should delay at least and reopen the trial court. And if the decision, if it doesn't, this is just another issue that President Trump could easily win on appeal in that New York City case.
So what he's saying here is, and I said it a little bit, but here's the payoff. Would we really reopen this case, even though clearly the original actions were when Trump was not president, but how would you take out of the minds of the jurors all the testimony, all the stuff that went into his social media posts when he was president, and also the stuff in the Oval Office around this? Would you say they're not official acts? Is that what they would do? So this opens up, here's the benefit. Here's the benefit. You got to look at this, the benefit here. It's going to put Marchand, and he may just, whatever John you said there is smart, may just say, I don't care. It's going to be like we did it before. Well, that gives Trump more of a chance to dismiss this. Remember, you and I know this is a Mickey Mouse court and the whole thing, but there are people out there oblivious to this. And you want to reach them. They're going to be deciding voters. It helps if this appears to be something even more made up. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. Rudy Giuliani has been disbarred as an attorney in New York. Oh, my God, how the mighty have
former mayor
gone downhill. All right. Now, one other thing, and this plays perfect timing, and I'll admit a large part of this is big picture stuff with me, but also it's personal. I despise Phil Murphy. I despise the wife, too. I mean, he is exactly the epitome of what we don't want in office. But the Inquirer is touting a decision by the Biden administration to say that Atlantic Shores, the Department of Interior, these are the people off Atlantic City and Brigantine, now can go forward with their wind energy project. which will be just shy of 9 miles off the New Jersey coast. Now, by happenstance, tomorrow we will be at Mulligan's, and our local Patriot of the Year is Robin Schaefer. He's the guy that leads that great organization that is fighting this. And the Inquirer has it wrong, saying this is a win for Phil Murphy after another major offshore wind project fell through last fall. What makes you think, Philadelphia Inquirer, this one is just going to go on trend? There's like 50,000 lawsuit hurdles in front of them. What makes you think we're going to give up and let Phil Murphy win? Let them to spoil the Jersey Shore. The turbines would be placed within a 102,124 acre span. Wow. Just think about that. It's a lot of acreage. What's Phil Murphy growing there? Hair? In addition to that, their height is about the height of the, 1,048 feet high, slightly taller than the Comcast Tower in Philadelphia. And again,
sorry for the delay, folks. Apologies.
I have the number here. I think it's 102 of them that will be put in. And it is personal with Phil Murphy. This guy is determined he's just going to keep on doing this. He's going to shove it down our throat. And once he does it, getting those out of there, I don't see that happening. But I'm here to predict it's not going to happen, and you're part of it. And the Inquirer doesn't get it. You know, they blame fossil fuel companies for putting these people up to it. No, Inquirer, we like the Jersey Shore the way that it is. We don't want this.
As I mentioned a minute ago, we're making up for awful behavior before we got here.
And we also think the whales are on our side, and so is marine life. And this is going to play out in the Senate race, which is a legitimate contest this time around. I got some Menendez stuff here about it's a Cuban thing to keep gold bars in your house. I hope Menendez.
Is it?
Well, we'll find out.
Genuinely curious. We have any
we'll see.
Cuban listeners?
I'm sure we do.
Dial
We'll
in.
get some Cuban listeners to tell us you keep gold bars in your house and you keep hundreds of thousands of dollars
First
in
time I've ever heard
suits
of it.
taped up like in Goodfellas. I thought it was an Italian thing, Goodfellas. Yeah, we got to
Yeah?
keep it here.
You keep gold bars in your house? The Dom Dome?
Yes. And I got the $100 bills in that nice suit. I have to remember when I do Inside Story to take them
You
out.
break
It would
through
look
the
bad.
sheetrock and just pours out gold bars.
And we have wives like Menendez's wife. My God. All right, so here's how you get in. Let me give you the side question here, too. It's one of our favorites. Haven't done it in a while. Today is National Camera Day. So, of course, at the end of your call, we want to know that all-time photo. And I went back and took a look at the top 1,000 yesterday, the top 100. Boy, it is overwhelming. So I'm going to take off the board, of course. You can never win with the kiss. The kiss is sacred.
Yeah.
There was a rumor that Sarasota, Florida, doesn't want the kiss anymore. Mayor Ernie, who I think might be on the show tomorrow, how about bringing the kiss to Wildwood if they don't want it? That would be a great spot. I'm also going to take the military raising the flag over Iwo Jima after some of the bitterest fighting of the entire World War II. That is iconic. World War II has a lot of the all-time photos, so I'll take those two. What's yours, Dan?
Yeah, how about May 6, 1937, Lakehurst, New Jersey. The Zeppelin, the
yes.
Hindenburg, the famous picture of it hitting that ballast or whatever
the
it is.
humanity,
Yeah,
yes.
the mast, and the humanity and the explosion.
Yeah.
Also take off the allegedly staged picture, lunch atop a skyscraper.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not believing it was staged. It's too sacred to me. I believe those guys were up there eating their lunch, dangling 39 stories up.
You know, I was reading that allegedly just under the frame there's a platform.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they were to drop, it would just be like 20, 30 feet, yeah?
Always spoiling stuff. Imagine these guys. They passed that pastrami. Up there goes Bill. All right.
That aside, though, I mean, I think that might just be for the safety of the photographer, if anything, because those guys were indeed eating lunch.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I was talking to one guy that's still doing this kind of union work, 30, 40 floors up, and a lot of times they're like, oh, yeah, the tether's inconvenient, so they just go untethered and climb up, you know. And no, Petrifying.
Well, just seeing these guys out here across from us. We haven't seen them a while in this building.
Enormous crane.
The crane. The guy on the crane, like a million stories
Mad
up.
respect for people on those cranes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. Now, at 12:30, we're talked with this guy before. We're going to talk with Ryan Walters, who is the superintendent of the Oklahoma Public Schools, making a lot of news. He doesn't want to put the Ten Commandments in the classroom. He wants the Bible to be there and to be taught. Now, it doesn't mean, Jeremiah or stuff like that necessarily. It's historical documents. And he says his inspiration was not Louisiana and the Ten Commandments. It was President Trump. Uh-oh. That's here at 12:30 today. You get in early on this photo thing at the end of your call. And we're going to see who's going to get tired first. Are the people defending our birthright? I mean, every time we go to Wildwood, after Mulligan's tomorrow, Roe will be on the beach before that.
Going to Wildwood is indeed a birthright.
It is. And it's our birthright, that Jersey Shore, and no beach tags, I might add.
Yep.
But Phil Murphy doesn't care about that. Guy doesn't even know how to brush his hair or eat a piece of pizza. So he's determined to get a win for him, to laugh as he's leaving office, off to Palookaville.
Genuinely curious how he eats pizza. Like
the Massachusetts way. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
campaign.
like, how does it? It's so odd.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, so it's 855-839-1210. That's how you get in on Talk Radio 1210.
I know the one thing that would never change. Every memory of looking out the back door.
Tired of hearing scary ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. We may be able to significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe to the IRS. Taxpayers should know. Huge savings are now being made available through the Fresh Start program that can drastically reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. Even if you haven't filed your taxes in years or are facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, or under audit, we can help. We've earned over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today. To see what savings you may qualify for, visit us online at TRA.com or call us at 800-511-0379. 800-511-0379. Again, that's 800-511-0379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, Stephanie from Emmons. Are you not loving your bathroom? Is the King's Throne looking a little outdated and run down? Let Emmons Design Specialists design a bathroom that you will love and one that Emmons will redo in as little as 1 day. An affordable, maintenance-free bathroom with little to no inconvenience to you and your family. With finance options available, there's really only one problem. Your bathroom will be so nice, your king may never want to come out. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on our website at callemmons.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
3 people were killed in a bad crash on the Route 1 bypass in Delaware County. The city's 5-year agreement with Verizon will provide much-needed free internet access to each of its recreation centers, and holiday travel is picking up at the airport.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Free speech lives here.
with Dom Giordano weekdays noon till 3. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
Tom Giordano's show. So, show prep, I'm flipping around, and I'll admit it, I wanted to see if Mika Brzezinski today would just go out of her mind. She didn't go out of her mind, but it was even worse, in a way. I'll play that for you in a moment. But in the course of that, I saw this long interview with Vanity Fair. I mean, come on, with all that's going on in the world, it was about a piece this guy did on RFK Jr., who quietly has been plodding along and is going to be a bit of a force to determine who wins this election in places like Michigan. He's not on the ballot in Pennsylvania, as far as I know yet. I think that's up in the air. So it's an expose, and this guy, as I've often said, is a nutbag, You may like some of the more recent stuff. So, Dan, what Vanity Fair puts up is a picture. You know that Kennedy traveled in Southeast Asia, and whatever he ate, he blames for the worm that ate part of his brain episode.
Yeah.
This is even worse, though.
Uh-oh.
He's joking, I believe, but that's bad, too. Holding up what is a roasted dog.
Oh, no.
Yeah, joking about eating that, like with a female bystander, pretending like they're doing that. We don't think he did. But he's kind of mocking the culture there, if that's true. And then you just can't pose holding up a roasted dog. I mean, we're never going to go along with that. I don't care if you say that's their culture, not our. We're never going to go along with that. We're just not. So I don't care whatever the hell they want to do. We're not going to look upon that at all. You know what I mean? It's just completely out of bounds. Makes your skin crawl. So it's like 40,000 words. And it's got that giant picture of him doing that. And let's just say his nonsense with women is typical of the Kennedys. I mean, it's inexcusable. So my point is, they're doing this now because they're really worried. This is all timed out. He's a threat. Because if he gets what currently the polling indicates in a place like Pennsylvania, and they're more worried now that voters disgruntled with Biden. Remember, we're dealing with the smallest percentages. Might consider RFK Jr. now as a protest or something. So watch for more.
Where do you even get that picture?
I'm sure.
Is that so? Matt Cordoni is the one that posted it back to Vanity Fair, and he's a DNC spokesperson.
Yeah.
So obviously, trying to bury the guy a little bit here.
A little bit. I mean, how could anyone vote for this guy? Well, come on, Dom. It's the country you worry about.
I mean, the thing is so barbecued that you can't really tell if it's actually a dog.
Well, that's untrue. The forensics, I'll give Vanity Fair credit.
Really?
Forensically, they
went into it.
They went into it, yeah.
Okay,
now, whether their forensics are right or not, but it looks like a dog to me. And forensically, Dan, they I mean, this is all out. You're dealing with. They're not just going to say, "Oh, that looks like it." They brought in forensic experts. So let's see if that gets out there all over the place, because he is a real threat. He's more of a threat now because of Biden's difficulties. And, he's a bad guy. That's my take on him. So I've said it before. If you still want to vote for him, breath of fresh air, you like the vaccine stuff, whatever it is you like. I mean, this guy.
I was gung-ho for him until the whole reparations thing he came out with.
Well, I think most of the Kennedys are bad people. So, I mean, it's just pretty simple. They always have been. And he's just of that ilk, and the background. There's stuff in there. I know. His father was killed. That's got to be difficult lifelong, obviously. But that doesn't excuse the behavior.
Doesn't it serve conservatives well to kind of promote the guy, though?
Well, yeah, but I'm telling you this because of what people are going to see. Then they can make their own judgment here.
Well, it's hard to make any judgment besides.
Well, I'm not going to promote him, though, and not say he's a bad guy. I mean, I got to be honest. I can't. Oh, yeah, that guy's great.
Great guy, eating a dog. Yeah,
but
fantastic.
I mean, I see where they're going with this. It's time to be all out with this. And particularly, they seem to give a lot of time to it. So here's Mika Brzezinski, though. They have this guy, Sam Stein, who's one of the progressive magazines that's on. And he's making the case, well, if Biden has to step down, everybody will be happy with Kamala Harris. Listen, would you say, Dan, maybe 30 seconds in, Mika makes it known her opinion of Kamala Harris. She's off mic, she thinks, or something doing it.
Does she think that?
Maybe not.
Or is it purposeful?
She's off camera.
There are oftentimes I sigh into a microphone that is purposeful, Is that what she's doing?
I'll tell you this. Mika is a great sire here. Listen to this guy pitching Kamala Harris, then Mika.
Well, there is a sort of semi-middle ground here, right, which is Kamala Harris. She's been vetted. She's the vice president. She would inherit the campaign infrastructure. She would inherit the money, whereas anyone else in this hypothetical universe could not. She would be the logical person to take on the mantle. And on top of that, she has some experience debating Republicans at this level, including making the case against Donald Trump, right? That would be the logical extension here. I agree with you. The other ones, they are untested. A big sigh there on air. A lot of the other ones are untested, and that would be problematic in its own right.
Wow. Mika really is crazed over this Joe Biden stuff. This is an African-American female, historic, Dan. You can't be putting out the big sigh. Who does Mika think she is here?
I agree with you. The other ones, they are untested. A big sigh there on air.
Oh, my goodness.
It was a really big sigh, huh?
What I think is going on right now is perfect.
I agree with you. The other one.
You have people coalescing, governors meeting, wanting to meet with Biden. You have people questioning him around the clock. But you also have the vast majority not trying to push him out publicly. It's the perfect storm. It's perfect. He continues on. He's being wounded up and down the line. And yet, they're not going to be able to push him out, at least at this point. All right, coming up, we're going to talk with Ryan Walters. This guy's making a lot of news every day. The head of the schools in Oklahoma put the Bible must be taught. We'll find out what that means. And he says Trump is the inspiration. Don't forget the side question, too. Hey, we have some exciting news. Rescue Natural Supplements is having a sale of epic proportions in honor of Independence Day. Now through July 4th, use the code FREEDOM to snag 45% off 4 or more of your favorite products. You can mix and match single bottles, boost your heart health, strengthen immunity, lift energy levels, or try an all-natural sleep aid. To order, call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com. res-q.com. It's never too late or too early to fortify your body and health. Rescue's Independence Day sale ends Thursday, July 4th, so don't miss out. Remember, shop res-q.com. Use that code FREEDOM. Again, the code is FREEDOM for 45% off 4 or more single bottles. Do it today.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7. And we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things you love? Dawn Stensland here. I'm talking about bone-on-bone pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine, and I'm talking cutting-edge treatments which accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. They've helped so many people here and tens of thousands more across the country. So if you're living with chronic joint pain from arthritis or injury, you need to know steroids and surgery and pain pills are no longer your only option. Learn how QC Kinetics can treat the pain, enhance your joints, restore your mobility. No downtime. This is the future of medicine. Call for a free consultation, 215-999-3000, 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Feeling thirsty? Head to a nearby convenience store for a Pepsi Zero Sugar Mountain Dew or Starry. Grab a delicious, refreshing Pepsi for the road.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The pleasant air mass remains in place across the region today. We'll have plenty of sunshine. It'll be hotter but not humid with a high 85. Tonight, mostly clear and still comfortable with a low 66. And for Wednesday, similar conditions, sunshine, hot but not humid, high 87.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Don Giordano Show. Welcome in, everyone. We've talked many times because he makes a lot of news in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma superintendent of the public schools, Ryan Walters. New York Times seems to have a Walters desk. So much they write about this guy. And I read the most recent interview in which, coming off Louisiana, we see the Ten Commandments. He says that's not the inspiration, though, to be putting the Bible back into public school curriculum. Well, in what form? What does that mean? And his inspiration was President Trump. Let's go to Oklahoma Superintendent of Schools, Ryan Walters, here in Philadelphia. Superintendent, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, always good to be on the show. Really appreciate the opportunity.
So I read one interview where you said the inspiration, you supported it, but that wasn't the inspiration for doing this, the Ten Commandments. Explicitly, what would a teacher be required to do in Oklahoma around the Bible?
Yeah, absolutely. So, by the way, we were rolling out more extensive guidelines over the next few weeks before the start of school in August. But what they're going to be doing is, listen, when you teach history and when it is historically accurate to talk about the Bible, our teachers are going to discuss it. So I'll give you a few examples. When you talk about the Mayflower Compact and the Pilgrims and the Puritans and the Quakers, how do you have those conversations with kids if you can't mention the Bible or the Bible verses that they reference that encourage them to move to America? Well, how do you describe what Thomas Jefferson meant and how most Americans read, "We're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights"? Where do you get that from? What did the Great Awakening, what impact did it have on the country to believe that the rights came from God? How do you talk about that without talking about the Bible? Abraham Lincoln, all the presidents that cite Bible verse after Bible verse, and then I'll give you one more. Martin Luther King Jr. We talk about the civil rights movement a lot in Oklahoma academic standards, and we talk about a letter from a Birmingham jail where he literally connects the entire civil rights movement to the teachings in the Bible to show why he believes that he is standing with God, why he believes he's doing the right thing, where his ideas come from. How do you talk about these moments in American history without talking about the Bible? So we're going to make sure the Bible is in its historical context in American history so our kids get the full story of America.
Now, I know you're working up the details, though. This devil's always in the, well, not, they're attacking you, as we know. That's the preoccupation. But I would have questions, though. What are you telling the teacher to do? Is there freedom there in mentioning it? How do they go about it? What are you thinking on that?
Yeah, no, we're going to be pretty explicit in what the expectations are. So we're going to tell them, listen, when you talk about the Mayflower Compact, you're going to have to include the lines where they mention God and why they felt like God wanted them to go into the New World. So we will be giving those kind of explicit details because that's what we do in our standards. We say, listen, when we talk about civil rights movement, you need to mention Martin Luther King Jr. You need to describe letter to Birmingham jail. You need to describe why does he make that connection. So those are the type of things we lay out. And again, we give teachers a lot of freedom on now. How do you want to teach that, right? Do you have them read it? Do you have them reenact it? Do you have them read, 3 or 4 primary sources? So there's freedom there to an extent, but you still have to teach the history. So we will be very explicit. And listen, you are going to let kids know that faith played a role in the decision-making process of some of our most influential Americans.
Now, the inspiration, and I think the one interview I read, they went back to it twice. They wanted to be clear, was not what they did in Louisiana. And I didn't think it was when I heard this from you because you do stuff on your own, but it's President Trump. In what way is it President Trump?
Right. So, I truly appreciate the president tweeted out, shout out to the work that we're doing here in Oklahoma and me by name a few weeks ago of keep going, keep continuing this work. But he has been out in front on this to make America great again. Your kids have to know America. He put together the 1776 Commission when he was in the White House, which laid out, listen, kids have to read primary sources. If you read primary sources, if you read about the country's founding, you're going to see people like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, that their clear belief was you maximize individual liberties. Those liberties come from God. Those rights come from God, right? And then the people have to be a moral people. They believe that they should have some kind of faith, some kind of morality, some kind of religion to help guide them. Because if you maximize their liberty, they're going to have to govern themselves. Now, again, that's historical. That's what they said. Those are quotations. You can read them in the Federalist Papers. You can read them in the Constitutional Convention notes. Now, again, we're not telling kids they have to believe in a Christian worldview or anything like that. But they do need to understand the founders thought that morality was imperative with individual liberty. So those are the type of things President Trump championed when he was in the White House. He put out great guidance in the 1776 Commission. And he continues to support our efforts right now. And then the other thing President Trump has done, he put originalists on the Supreme Court, not these left-wing activist judges. So we feel very confident legally if this makes its way to the Supreme Court with President Trump's appointees, they're actually going to look at the Constitution. They're going to go, hey, what do you know? This is perfectly legal. As a matter of fact, every schoolhouse would have had a Bible in their curriculum until 1963. So, of course, this is okay. Of course, this is legal. So that gives us great confidence legally moving forward also.
When you mention that, though, and the inspiration of Trump, and you are a pragmatic guy, you're a combination of a thinker and also politically, any thoughts, let me put it this way, to waiting? Because given how they come after you, given how they come after this, they're going to say, look at this guy, Trump, inspiration, originalist judges. If he gets Trump in the White House, you know what this guy in Oklahoma is going to do. He's a nation's leader. The Bible, they're going to be thumping Bibles in school. It won't just be historical context. They're just playing with that now. Give that any thought.
No, look, we've been crystal clear on this, and so is President Trump. Hey, listen, this is about teaching our history, okay? No, we are in this to ensure that our kids understand American history. So, there is no part of this where we are pushing this faith onto kids. It is historically accurate, and frankly, what the left has done is they are lying to our kids. They're indoctrinating our kids by saying, listen, no, there was no role of faith. There was no role of morality. And you look around society today and you go, well, you want to see some of the results of not talking to kids about, the country, for a long time believed, morality was essential in this republic. Well, you know what? When you strip that out, what happens? You have a society that's completely unmoored from any kind of understanding that, we all bear responsibility to govern our own actions. So again, there's real-time results for these things. Because, again, understanding our history helps give students the full picture of why things were important to the founders, what was their worldview, and frankly, you just think about it, how do you even explain these different instances in history without the Bible? It doesn't even make sense. Why the Pilgrims come here? If you can't talk about the Bible and their belief, it doesn't even make sense. So it is frankly, it's academic malpractice to not walk students through, what did they say? what did they say their reasons were for doing these things? That's the only way you can really study history.
We're talking with Ryan Waters from Oklahoma. Would this be just at the high school level, infusing this in history classes, or do you see it at the elementary, middle school also?
Oh, yeah, no, we'll have it in the elementary school also, and I'll kind of walk you through that as well, because you do see, and again, it will, depending upon the grade level, will depend upon the involvement here, but, in our early grades, we talk about kind of that early American history with the Pilgrims. We talk about the Mayflower. We talk about those things. So there will be some of that in there. And look, also, we're going to have math and science classes where, listen, when you study some of the great scientists, they talk about, they thought God had an impact on what they were doing. They went to the Bible to do certain experiments, and they tried to look to that for references. Again, we're not going to censor those things out. We're going to make sure kids understand the historical context for those decision-making processes. So, yeah, it will be in grade levels all the way through your earliest grades as well. But, again, it will be what's age level appropriate and where it really falls into our academic standards at that time as well.
And this will happen, you think, this coming school year?
Oh, yes, sir. It will happen this upcoming school year, this August.
So this is being framed by the left, too, as a retaliatory move to LGBT. Tell me why that's faulty.
Yeah, I mean, it's absurd because here's the reality. Is, the far left, they always do this stuff, where they're offended, they're mad, they're upset. Well, they can be offended all they want, but what they can't do is rewrite our history. And the reality is, there's a great Churchill quote where he says, hey, the further back you look is the further ahead you can see for a society. And it's very true. Look, you look back and you got to understand our history to understand why we made the decisions we did. And then, hey, you extrapolate your own, value judgment on that, whether you think things are right or wrong, or should they be very different or should they be similar. That's for the individual to decide. But withholding vital pieces of information from them, like the number one best-selling, most read book in American history. I mean, think about that for a minute. We're not going to talk about the number one most sold book in American history? Well, then what book meets the criteria to be discussed in a history class then? It's like, well, if the Bible doesn't make the cut, what does make the cut?
Mm-hmm.
It has been widely read, widely purchased. It is important for our kids to understand its role in American history, its role in American literature. And again, we've got to be fair to our kids by telling them the whole story.
Absolutely. Ryan Waters, thank you. Thanks so much. We'll catch up once you have all the details ironed out. Have a good 4th of July, though. Thank you.
Absolutely. Love to come back. Happy 4th of July to you, too.
All right. Superintendent in Oklahoma, Ryan Waters. Now, again, that's how my mind goes. It's going to be used to say, see, particularly when I saw Trump inspired this. Yeah, I get it. You can't wait forever on this stuff. Get elected, then roll this out. But this is what they're ready to pounce on, in that the idea is, oh, man, you know exactly what these guys want to do. But the point is well taken here. Now, I got to see the final curriculum, how many times the Bible's going to be mentioned. Is it gratuitous or is it, how could you study history and not see that underpinning right from the very beginning with the Pilgrims and all the way through? And particularly note the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King. That gets the left going. Oh, Martin Luther King would have been a progressive today, and he would have thrown aside all that religion. I don't think so. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you have to do is just push pound 1210. Hit us on the side question, too. What is that all-time photo? Give us your reason why. Today, National Camera Day. By the way, I'm waiting to see Biden today. It will be the tan Biden or not the tan. You talk about overdoing it. Who is running amok here? We have Dr. Jill Biden on the cover of Vogue. Evita now. She's not Edith Wilson even. She's Evita Biden. I mean, she's taken over. It's clear that she really has been a driving force. And what I'm sensing here, too, is you're going to have her versus some of the Obama people that are there that want power, too. It's kind of uneasy. All right, we'll get into all that. Your calls, though, are next. Hey, I've told you for years about a great dentist that I have, board-certified prosthodontist, my friend Dr. Robert Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group, and the entire staff. Now, he's known for overcoming fear and anxiety. I've told you about this woman who hadn't been to a dentist in 8 years listening to me, and thank God she acted. She came from Ocean City all the way out to East Norriton. Hadn't seen a dentist. It was halting, but they got great results. She's a regular patient of Dr. Bent's now. I had a permanent tooth put in just about a month or so ago, and my reaction was, okay, let's do the test. We're always talking about those 3D printers. You know, Dr. Bent's comes in, the final thing, everything's prepared, puts it in, and it fit perfectly the first time. No chopping down. I don't know why we all say the same thing. It's high, Doc. I'm telling you, that tooth is high. I'm on it right now, and it feels perfectly natural. 3D printer, Dr. Bent's, the staff. It's all there. Great dental care, the Bent's Dental Group. You find them at Bent's, B-E-N-T-Z, dentalgroup.com, or call them for that appointment today, 610-272-6949. Visit bentsdentalgroup.com, 610-272-6949.
Hey, it's Nick Cale. Join me again on the first Wednesday of the month for WPHT's Veteran Spotlight. It's a program where we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. Tomorrow morning, we honor retired Marine Corps veteran Colonel Tom Manion for his service and contributions to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
Join Nick Cale and WPHT in supporting the Bend to the Shore Bike Tour on Sunday, July 21st. Ride 30 miles, 65 miles, or just make a donation to the cause. Visit bendtoshore.org. Sign up with the code NIC1210 to get $25 off the registration fee. That's shore.org. Promo code NIC1210. The Bend to Shore Bike Tour provides financial relief for the families of fallen and injured first responders and is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Don't miss Borgata's $1.5 million Summer Showdown. Now through August 31st, 1,500 winners will earn a share of $1.5 million. Plus, 2 lucky players will win a 2024 Ford Bronco or Jeep Rubicon. Earn entries for drawings held every Saturday, including 2 grand prize drawings on July 27th and August 31st. The $1.5 million Summer Showdown, only at Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Must be 21 or older. Players must be present to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh, I wish I could handle all my financial needs under one roof.
How many roofs do you go to?
Currently, 4. One for savings, another for loans, and...
Stop. Write this down. First Harvest Credit Union. I'm able to save money with amazing loan rates and saving options like certificates, checking, growth savings account, which is currently earning 3.5% annual percentage yield. Should I continue?
You had me at one roof.
Visit firstharvestcu.com or your nearest branch. Membership restrictions apply. Equal opportunity lender insured by NCUA.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-515-6608. 800-515-6608. 800-515-6608.
Hey, Clementon. Yeah! We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It is the Dom Giordano Show. We're going to get an update from Linda Kearns, our election expert. And I got several questions for her. There have been a couple developments in Pennsylvania, but a lot of stories out there of how many poll watchers and also the warehouse watchers and the watchers that the Trump campaign is going to have this time. It's overwhelming. That doesn't mean the other side's going to roll over and not try to do shenanigans, but it means that this is going to be the most heavily scrutinized possible, which is a good thing. By the way, mulligans tomorrow. Don't forget, noon till 3. Come on down, make it a day, or if you're anywhere in the area. And our person of the year, Robin Schaefer, will be there. He's the guy leading the charge against putting these just crazy skyscrapers despoiling the Jersey Shore, killing wildlife, and just progressivism. This is a monument. These are skyscrapers to progressivism. They're trophies for them. They don't care about anything else. We'll also have Jeff Van Drew, and we think there's going to be some scotch drinking going on there. I'm almost absolutely sure of that.
I also got some confirmation, Dom.
Yes.
Might have some scotch with squash.
The sea squash might be entering into this. The new Wildwood impromptu mascot whose goal in life, and I don't know how we got into this, but we'll try to help, is to someday dance or say hello at least to the Philly Fanatic, the all-time great mascot. All right, so there we go. It's going to be interesting to see that part. And we also have the owner of Congress Hall and the Republican nominee for the Senate race, where Bobby Menendez, now we want him to stay in. I think he's still in as an independent. He might take away 3-4%. They're crazy in Jersey of votes. His sister, Caridad Gonzalez, testified yesterday at the beginning of the trial and said, yeah, back in the old country, in Cuba, we were able to hide money in a grandfather clock. So it's a Cuban thing, she said, to do what Bobby Menendez did. I don't know if that explains the gold bars, you know, taking $100 bills all taped together and putting them in suit coats like Goodfellas. That's exactly what they did in Goodfellas. I can remember Henry Hill, who I interviewed. Curtis Bashaw will be with us doing that. So maybe that's where Menendez got the idea, the gold bars. I mean, who doesn't have the gold bars lying around? God. So we want to keep Bobby in there. She says it's normal. It's a Cuban thing.
A Cuban thing?
Yeah.
Sounds very offensive, I got to say.
I know. When asked for her reaction to Menendez directing her to pull, Goodfellas, to pull $500 and $100 bills from a boot-sized box in a closet of his daughter's bedroom in the 1980s when she worked for him as a legal secretary. Dan, he said, go, we'll get it out of the boot-sized box. We'll get your pay out of that in the daughter's bedroom.
Most of the time it happened that way.
Good Henry Hill.
Neighborhood belonged to Paulie. It was great. Yeah, Bobby Menendez. We told him to hide the money in there. That was before or after the Lufthansa ice. By the time they found Frankie Carbone in the meat truck.
Jimmy!
Took them 2 days to thaw him out to do the autopsy. That was all the money we had, Karen.
Are you ready for tomorrow, Jim? Who's going to be wishing us a happy Independence Day? Mark Levin?
Maybe Mark Levin, maybe a little bit of Sly Stallone, maybe the Dice Man, maybe...
How about Howard?
Robin, I'm going to go down there and check out the Dom Giordano show. Robin, I'm going to go down there and just check it out since I don't have to work anyway.
There you go. All right,
how's Meryl doing?
He's doing great. He should go down. Don't forget to go to Mulligan's tomorrow for Dom Giordano's great show from 12 to 3. Great guests, great beer, and an even greater show. Tomorrow, 12 to 3. Eric Clapton right now as we continue here at WPHT with Layla.
Let me take Bill here before we go to Linda Kearns and Montco. All right, Bill, good afternoon. Thanks for the wait. What do you have
Tom,
today,
how you
Bill?
doing?
Good.
Yeah. No, a couple have the answer to the side question, but as far as the Supreme Court decision on immunity, all the pundits saying that the president would dispatch the military to take out a political rival. In the military, and being retired military, I take this to heart. There's this thing called an unlawful order.
Right.
That it's your obligation as a military member to refuse to carry out an unlawful order. So the military is being talked about like they're like an assassination squad of the president, that they haven't been grilled in the Constitution and know what the Constitution entails. So I really find that very insulting.
Oh, yeah, it is, of course. I mean, but these, we got to make sure, and your point is a good one, they're not winning the idea that the American public gets this, that Trump will do anything. That's exactly what they're trying to do. So who is the photo?
Yeah, it's Jeep shooting Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, great shot, all time. How did he get close? And those guys with the cowboy hat standing there. All right, Linda Kearns is next. Got a lot of things breaking here. Remember, she plays the defense. She's our defensive coordinator. Scott Presler is the offensive coordinator. Trying to win Pennsylvania, one vote at a time. Yeah, of course.
Like Nick Sirianni, right?
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. I don't think so. Hey, is that an Italian remark? You think we all talk with our hands or something?
You think I talk with my hands here? Wait, I'm a clown. I'm here to make you laugh.
Amuse you?
I'm here to sit there and talk with my hands right now so I can amuse you. Is that it? Tell me.
Hey,
Anthony. Anthony's a big boy. He knows what he said.
855-39-1210. It's not even July 4th yet. Tom Giordano Show.
According to a study conducted by Atticus Law Firm, 40% of retirees were forced back into the workforce because they received a deceptive sales pitch from their broker. But there is one way to ensure that you don't become part of that statistic.
Tony Gambone and Denise Gambone, Royersford, Pennsylvania.
I know people that had to go back to work because they got bad investment advice from brokers. By recording our sessions, Crash Proof Retirement proves they're willing to put their money where their mouth is.
The recordings used by Crash Proof Retirement, it's just a natural extension of how Crash Proof is legally bound to do right for the consumer.
Guarantee legally binding transparency for your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for the next Crash Proof Retirement educational event at Downingtown Country Club on Tuesday, July 23rd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey.
The satire on all of the Eagles and the Phillies, oh my goodness, it was just too hilarious.
His daughter's amazingly a great singer, but I didn't know everybody in the family was that good of a singer. I mean, I absolutely loved it. Just the mix of the comedy and the singing, you never knew which way they were going to go with it.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey on Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
So last year I had the bright idea to dig up part of my backyard to put in a new patio. Little did I know that underground electrical for most of my neighborhood ran through my backyard. One wrong hit of the shovel and bam, lights went out, my hair turned white, and now I can wirelessly charge my smartphone. You know, they say hindsight is 20/20, but 2/20? That's something completely different. Trust me. Call 811 before you dig. Know what's below and help us hit 50 and 5. 50% less damage to buried utilities in 5 years. For info, visit pa1call.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
The Dean of Philly Talk Radio. Get rid of the man purse.
Oh, God. All right. I am going to sue over that. That was during my official actions of this job. It's not a man purse. It's a European. It's a European carry-all bag.
It's not a man purse.
It's not a man purse.
It is not a man purse.
All right. That's Linda Kearns there, too. Linda Kearns is the Pennsylvania Election Integrity Counsel for the RNC. That's her day job. But for us, she is the defensive coordinator. Scott Presler is the offensive coordinator, all right? That makes me the head coach here to try to win Pennsylvania.
Yes, Nick Sirianni.
It's the culture. I'm working on the culture, just like Nick Sirianni. All right, but we got a lot of updates with Linda, some of them in Pennsylvania, but I have an election question for her, too, that's playing out with Joe Biden. Let's go to Linda Kearns on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Linda, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dom, you trying to explain away that man purse sounds like what the Biden White House is doing, trying to explain away that debate. It's not working. We all know you're carrying a purse, so either accept it or get rid of it.
Well, I'm going to get the most masculine guy in the bar tomorrow. I don't know if that'll be Dan. Oh, my God.
What
kind of
rivalry
bar
is slowly
that?
building between.
I'm going to say that, yes.
This moot court debate
That's
between
right.
you two is going to be fantastic.
I'm going to get Johnny Z to rule on that tomorrow. Jeff Andrew, sartorially splendid. I'm going to ask him, is this a man purse?
First topic of the moot court debate. There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
That's number one. So, Linda, interested in your take, election law is your main area of divorce and, general practitioner. I know that. The Biden thing of swapping him out, how does this play out, particularly in the swing states and the like? Is it as easy as they say it is, or each day that goes by, I would assume it gets more difficult?
Right. So, well, in May when we voted, we actually voted for the delegates that are going to go to the convention. And then when the delegates get to the Democratic convention, they're going to elect the, their nominee. And we all voted for, there are people who voted for Biden delegates. That's who they would want to elect at the convention unless Biden steps out. So if he steps out, what we're going to see is fights to try to get those delegates to vote for an alternate candidate. So if it's people for Camilla, people for Newsom, whoever the names are, so there's going to be a lot of infighting about who those delegates are going to vote for, and whatever happens, you're going to have a lot of very disappointed people. So it's not necessarily as easy as everybody says it's going to be. It still can be done in Pennsylvania because we don't. We wait until after the convention for them to notify the Pennsylvania Department of State about who should be on the ballot. So he can still get, or whoever the nominee is still can get on the ballot in Pennsylvania. I know that might be an issue in other states, but it's not as easy as just swapping out. Not
okay,
at all.
Yeah, that's the point. And we've been looking at even the money transfer at a certain point. Who does that go to? And I think even some Democrats said Kamala Harris is on the ticket, at least would be through the convention, as a VP, if nothing else, she would have access to that. It would probably go to the DNC, and then it gets dicey exactly what happens. So my point is not that they can't overcome this, but Republicans have to hold their feet to the fire to make sure they're following the law, because I'm not sure if you remember, Linda. I remember, and it was exactly what the Democrats do. Robert the Torch Torricelli got into trouble, senator in Jersey. 5 days before the election, they tagged him out and put Frank Lautenberg in, and he won.
Right. Yeah, that happened in Jersey. And, something similar happened in Philadelphia in one of the state house races where this was a few years ago, and I don't remember the guy's name, but I sued to get him off the ballot because he didn't live in the district. And he didn't, and I won in the Commonwealth Court. It was a district in West Philly, and the court ordered him off the ballot. And then the Dems tried to nominate somebody new to put on the ballot, but under Pennsylvania law, if you're off the ballot, if you're ordered off the ballot, there is no mechanism for replacement. So we were successful in not having anyone on the ballot. For the Dems. Unfortunately, the Republicans still lost in that district because it's like a 90% Democratic district, and they had a write-in campaign. But that was an example of really trying to force them to follow the law.
Exactly, and I know you're on top of all of this. The other good news, NBC News wrote a big piece going wild, saying this is exactly what we don't want, this preoccupation of people like you and Lara Trump and others with who knows how many tens of thousands of poll watchers and custody watchers and all that. They're appalled by it. And, Linda, our hurdle here, I guess, is we have suburbanites, as you know, that would go into these polling places in Philadelphia, I think. Other states allow it. Are we ever going to see that where you don't have to live in that city or in that municipality in order to poll watch?
Sure, if the Pennsylvania legislature gets its act together, but if they don't, then our law in Pennsylvania is that you have to be a registered voter in that county to be a poll watcher. And frankly, it's a little offensive that these outlets are acting like the Republicans are doing something wrong by recruiting poll watchers and poll workers. In fact, the Committee of 70 in their email yesterday came out and they said that that supporters of former President Donald Trump are preparing to challenge the November 5th presidential election should he lose again. And as outlined by the Washington Post, the Republican effort is multifaceted and includes such initiatives as encouraging people to be poll workers. How is encouraging someone to be a poll worker anything that should be called bad?
Let's take
that's
Dan.
Part of our process.
Yeah, Dan, would you ask them to come on again? They're cowardly. I don't want to bring you into it, Linda, but, I've often thought...
They're ridiculous, and they call themselves nonpartisan. They're ridiculous.
They are the most. They're fraudulent to me, not in the legal sense, but just in the public sense. That this has gone on for years, and they're brought on to every news show here in town, and they think your work here, which is laudatory, of getting all these people to be involved, what it takes, the nitty gritty of that, to sit in an election room 8 to 10 hours, whatever it is, Linda, is amazing. They ought to be celebrating you.
But Pennsylvania law provides for it. Pennsylvania law is designed so that the poll workers and polling places come from two different parties. Now, it doesn't always work that way because sometimes Republicans don't step up to the plate. So we have tons of districts in our 1,700 polling places in Philly where it is run exclusively by Democrats. And we're making a concerted effort to make sure that because we have the right as a minority party to be in a polling place, to make sure we have people in those polling places. And that's to work in a polling place. And for poll watchers, the law is very clear. Candidates and parties are permitted to have a poll watcher in the polling place. So McCormick, Trump, the 3 row office candidates, we could have 5 poll watchers in a polling place. Now, we're not going to have enough manpower for that, but that's provided for in the law. So to act like that's something that we shouldn't be doing, they're telling us that we shouldn't follow the law, it's ridiculous. And it's just another way to just denigrate what are just election integrity efforts.
Yeah, and look, anybody should be allowed. It's their civic duty to challenge an election or parts of it or something you see, so that everyone's on their toes and we reform it. Because God knows some of the things that were put in, like Zuckerbucks, we shouldn't have challenged that. We shouldn't have tried to take that out. Does the committee of 70 really think that? No, there are a bunch of people that are in a little bubble. It's a kind of a uniparty, although mainly Democrats. And I've just never seen why we should have faith in them as any kind of watchdog. So, Linda, a couple of things. One, you told us that leftist interest groups in Washington County, PA, are trying to force the county to cure ballots, meaning telling you you can come in and correct them. Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, they're not. So this lawsuit, I think, was just filed yesterday. And what they're asking the court to do is to compel the county to tell voters about the status of their ballot, provide voters with accurate and timely information regarding any errors they make, and then what they're calling properly entering the ballot in the SURE system, so that if the ballot is rejected, if the person shows up on election day, they can vote by provisional ballot. Now, a big problem with that lawsuit is they're shifting the burden. So the burden is no longer on the voter to fill it out correctly. It's on the election officials to not only check and make sure it's filled out correctly, but timely get back to them before Election Day. That's not that easy. The county officials do not have email addresses and phone numbers for all of these voters, so I'm not even sure how they would contact everyone. In addition, what is really getting lost in this whole argument over the curing is that the election code says, and I quote, now I'm not reading off a teleprompter like Biden did. I mean, I'm actually saying, I quote, shall safely keep the ballots in sealed or locked containers until they are to be canvassed by the County Board of Elections. So upon receipt of the ballot, counties are supposed to be putting these ballots in containers. There's nothing in the election code about checking them, correcting them, calling voters. That's something that these counties have just decided to do. And because the language is a little bit ambiguous, the courts have let them do it. So now this group out in Washington County is now asking for the counties to have that duty to contact the voters. That's a big shift in burden on those counties. And not every county has the manpower to do that. And I think it's going to create a lot of problems. But I think that what the goal is to work through the counties and maybe get this up through the appellate courts.
Yeah,
because
well,
right now, not every county cures.
The way I see it is the burden is on you. If you want to go mail-in, which we support, then you have to be careful about this. That's your burden. The burden on others is to show up on Election Day and maybe wait in a long line. So, right. Nobody can do that work for you if you want to go that way. The other thing is this situation, this directive directing counties to pre-print the year on ballots in November. What's the issue there?
Right. Well, I mean, I predicted that was coming because in the primary, they pre-printed the 20 of 2024 and just asked the voters to fill in the 20 part, but people were still getting it wrong. So now they're telling counties to pre-print the entire year so that when you fill out date and sign your ballot, that you just have to write the month and the day. Now, I think that's a stretch for the Department of State, especially because when the legislature wrote the law, the legislature said that the voter must fill out, date, and sign. And I think there is something to be said for that type of routine, to fill out, date, and sign your ballot, because it shows that you're putting thought into it. It's you signing it. Mm-hmm. It's you dating it. I think that there's a lot of value to that. Secretary Schmidt obviously thinks otherwise. These Democrats obviously think otherwise because they're constantly trying to water down all of these requirements to basically take away these requirements, I guess, to reduce the amount of what they're calling mistakes. And I think it's a problem. And if not every county follows these directives on their envelopes, then we're going to have even more non-uniformity throughout the state.
Exactly. Linda, too, a big event we talked to you about with Lara Trump and then the head of the RNC, the other co-chair here in Philadelphia. So tell us again, if you still need people for anything, what they do, and where are we approximately? How do you feel about our suburban areas in Philadelphia?
Dom, I need thousands of people, so I need all of your listeners to go to protectthevote.com. So what we're doing is we're gathering all the names, and then we contact people and let them know how they can do a training, and we're offering multiple trainings a week by Zoom so people can get really familiar with the process. So I need people who are willing to go to polling places on Election Day. From polls open at 7, they close at 8, but we do want you there at 6:30 a.m. By the way, I now know producer Dan has the stamina, because wasn't he on the radio yesterday for 8 straight hours?
Oh,
so
come on. Wait a minute. Let's clear that up. He's in the producer's lounge here. Have you ever been here and seen the producer's lounge?
You know what, Linda, this
gives
me a good opportunity, because I've heard that a lot these past day, and it actually, a lot comes from Dom, the work ethic, because you have the true Iron Man of radio sitting across the glass from me, who does what I did yesterday on a regular basis. So don't mean to kiss your butt, Dom, but I just want to put that out there.
All right, thank you, Linda. Thanks for conspiring to bring that up.
So I need people in the polling places. We need people to be at the centers to watch the counting. Again, the election code allows each candidate and the parties to have someone in there. So we have a lot of statewide candidates. We have president, we have McCormick and the Senate candidate, we have the 3 row offices, and then in every county there's other candidates on the ballot. So I have the ability to have watchers in there for each of those candidates watching the count. And transparency is so important. And if someone's in there watching, we can hopefully be sure that there won't be any shenanigans. I mean, transparency is just the best medicine for what is a really sacred event, a vote, an election. So this is so important, and I need people. I'm reluctant to kind of say exactly how many I have, because I don't want
Democrat.
I don't want the other side to know.
Yeah. So where do you go again? What do you do?
Protectthevote.com. Protectthevote.com. You go, you sign up. We have people looking you up, making sure you're a registered voter, checking out where you're registered, and then we haven't started placing everybody yet, but what we start with is to get the training, and we have this great Zoom training, and we have multiple times during the week when you can sign on to it. I also need attorneys. Attorneys could either, the website for that is lawyers.protectthevote.com, or just sign up on regular protectthevote.com and we'll find you.
Linda, thank you so much, and it's not a man purse. Thank you.
Have a great day, Dom.
Thank you. You're a witness. Come to Mulligan's tomorrow. I bring it. That's what I carry my stuff in. That's where all the good stuff is.
Really dug you a hole there to dig you out of, huh?
We'll see that tomorrow. All right. So there's the update. There's the defensive coordinator hitting you with an update on what's happening here. How about this committee of 70? I love these stuffed shirt. I forget. Oh, Al Schmitz. Remember that guy with Trump? He was the former head of the committee of 70. Yeah, of course. Saying that they're planning to challenge this election. Right. It is going to be. I'd like to win and still challenge some of it. We should have won by more. Oh, this guy, right? Yeah, I think there's one more vote out there, and I want a full federal investigation on that vote. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with encouraging people to be poll watchers? Oh, they're going to be causing trouble. I saw the NBC article. They don't understand the values in a big city. They're coming from the country. Yeah, they may think there's cheating. That's what you mean. What's that box doing over there? That kind of thing. Poll watchers in Atlanta, Detroit, and, of course, Philadelphia. All right, phone lines. You get in right now, 855-839-1210. Just hit us with that all-time photo. That's one of the things we're looking for. President Biden without the tan today, pretty much. Speaking about severe weather as a hurricane strengthens. My God.
The name Beryl.
Beryl.
Yeah. Have you heard that before?
No.
Neither have I. Is that like the third brother between Daryl and Meryl from Walking Dead?
Or is it one of those unisex names?
It's a good one, yeah.
We might have to do all-time unisex names. Like, if you say it, you shorten it, like Sam. Could that be a woman? Yeah, Samantha.
Yeah.
And they...
Dan.
Dan.
Yeah. Dom.
Dominique, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to think of a unisex name where you don't know. Beryl strikes me as one of those.
Beryl.
Leslie. Leslie used to be a name that males had. There were a lot of Leslies.
Yeah.
Stacy was a male name?
Yeah, you know.
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
Stacey.
Yeah. Or like the surfer. I forget his name. Stacy
Keach.
Here's another one. I got one for you.
Okay.
I didn't ask for this.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Lindsay, but he's the only one I know.
Oh, God. Yeah, not so many Lindsays.
Actually, no, he's not.
All right. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in with Dom and Dan right now. Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Where else should we celebrate Independence Day? I know Independence Hall, okay, the founders and all that stuff, but Johnny Z and Mulligan's, they're founders. The Dom Giordano Show always heads there. It happens tomorrow, the broadcast, noon until 3, 310 West Hildreth Avenue in Wildwood. Congressman Jeff Van Drew will be there. There might be some scotch tasting. Great food, great drink, lots of fun. Tomorrow, noon until 3 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
I am a father.
I am a mentor.
I am a wife.
I am an artist.
I am a husband.
I am a friend.
I am a sports fan.
I am your neighbor.
I am a member of your church.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am a police officer.
Support your local law enforcement officials. Sponsored by the Pennsylvania Fraternal Order of Police. Visit partnersinpublicsafety.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-515-4402. 800-515-4402. 800-515-4402.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, great stuff from Linda Kearns. You're with Dom at 2 o'clock. We're going to talk with our old buddy, Jay Town, who was a Trump surrogate attorney that we had on during the so-called hush money trial, because there's a lot of developments around that and the sentencing and a bunch of stuff moving forward. So the Biden people are actually saying they're going to put him out there in front of journalists. Let's do an hour interview and all. You know, these people are just thinking they'll run past the obvious by saying, well, that will reassure people. In what universe is he going to get through a half hour of one of those interviews? I mean, it is difficult. I remember I ended up on the cutting room floor. They had me for 90 minutes Sunday morning show. And at any second, you feel like they're bringing in something you hadn't thought about. What's he going to do, given what we've already seen? Yeah, he can go out there and a crowd cheering him, read off a teleprompter, and it's horrible. But in addition to that, when anybody asks him a question and any kind of follow-up, he can't do it on what day it is. So how in the world do they think they'll get past it? Lloyd Doggett is the first Democrat on record, congressman from Texas. Now, he's done stuff vaguely like this before. The guy I'd like to interview on this is Hank Johnson about what Biden should do. Don't go to Guam. You'll tip it over. Don't do that guy. But this is perfect.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
It actually happened last night, Dom. That wasn't about Guam. He was talking about Wildwood in the Mulligans event tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. It's going to be big. Yeah, get there early.
And capsize so many people.
Yeah, and hang on. And Mulligans might capsize tomorrow. God knows. But this is perfect. Biden is hanging on for now. I don't think there's any doubt. I don't see him, as I've said all along, and he might survive to the end. But meanwhile, you're seeing the chip, and behind the scenes, there are 7 people now, Dan, they're saying are on the short list of contenders. Oh, my God, some of these. Pritzker. You ever seen that guy, the governor of Illinois? Oh, my God. He's just married into a family of the hotel chain or something. He's a billionaire by that. Bashar. You have to get Rand Paul on to talk about him. He's the governor of Kentucky. Josh Shapiro, Kamala Harris, Newsom. And guess who just entered last night, they're saying? Oh, yeah, Mayor Pete. Oh. Not Mayor Pete Byron, Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
I got excited
that Mayor Pete.
Oh, okay.
Can you picture that guy? Oh, my God. The debacles he's been involved in at the U.S. transportation thing.
Yeah.
Not only that, if there were debates, not that appearance is everything, but look, people, they look at it. Look at Biden's appearance in the debate. I think Mayor Pete's like 5'6", if that. He looks at it.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, it's not a good look in the debate to be standing there in
5'8".
that manner. 5'8"? Yeah, I kind of doubt it.
Bernie Sanders is not 6 foot tall.
He looks it.
Really?
I
You think so?
only saw him once from afar,
What?
and I think he looks it. Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Is he on the short list?
No, not Bernie Sanders here. Now, Bernie would give them something. Hillary not on the short list.
So out of that list, is there anyone that you do think gives him something?
No, Newsom is probably the best pick for
Not
them.
Shapiro?
Not Shapiro. Well, you know what? The media would play along for a while. The Wall Street Journal today must think he is potential because they really unmask him and saying, stop calling this guy a moderate. They have a good sense.
Can I just ask about the elephant in the room, though?
Yeah.
The party has grown, at least a sect of the party,
Right.
somewhat anti-Semitic. I mean,
Right.
they're pro-Palestine, and you have a Jewish
Exactly.
individual here.
Yeah.
Would that deter people away from the
Oh.
polls? Would that deter progressives away because
Yes.
they can't vote for a Jewish
They're
guy?
stone cold anti-Semitic. Yes, big time, up and down the line. They have grown more of
Do you
that.
think the DNC is laying that into their decision? And isn't
Yes.
that wrong?
Yes. Oh, of course. The AOCs and that whole quack of the party. Oh, my God, Tlaib and others. Now, he might be able to turn it to his advantage, but yes, they are anti-Semitic. My gripe with Josh Shapiro, he's not a moderate. There is no doubt about that, but he masquerades well. So, Dan, watch this play. I haven't heard anybody else say it. I don't know why. Is he going to go with the Republicans and getting school choice in Pennsylvania? Because that would really make national news, and that would help him if they're able to unseat Biden here. I could see that. So, yeah, I would watch Shapiro, too. He's clever.
Make national news, but
Smart.
it's a blow to his knees. I mean, the entire teachers union's going to not vote for the guy then.
Well, they would say he's a moderate, and that's what Democrats need now. I hear you. It's not an easy path, but I think Newsom has a lot of dirty laundry. Get it? French laundry.
I gotta say, so Reddit, which is super left, they are imploding. Like comments, there's nothing being upvoted on the political right now because you have a sect saying that it needs to be Biden because he's the only person that can defeat Trump. But then the other side is suggesting people, and nobody thinks anybody can beat Trump besides Biden. So there's an implosion going on. It's fascinating and very entertaining to see. I must say.
Well, the bottom line is that's why Biden was the guy in 2020 because they know all the others cannot masquerade their radicalism. They put him on. He was a reassuring face. It's Uncle Joe, Joe being Joe. Now they see how bad his policies are, and they also see the decline. Well, I don't think the decline is that great with Biden. I've said it many times. He's always been a dunce. I mean, there's no doubt. Nancy Pelosi, the same thing. That doesn't mean all Democrats are. Hillary's smart. Whatever you think of her, she's smart. Obama, but not Biden and Pelosi. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. So it is news. The first sitting Democrat lawmaker calls upon Biden to exit. All right, Michael's got something on Beryl, but I'm not sure the spelling, Michael, you're going with. So, Michael, you say what? It's a Yiddish name? Michael, are you there?
It's Jonathan. I just wanted to comment there. Yeah, Beryl is actually a Yiddish name, a traditional Yiddish name. I think it's like bear, so it's like a little bear. So it's a masculine name.
Okay.
So not huge. So just I don't know, but maybe still interesting mix between Meryl and Beryl. But
and you're saying B-E-R-Y-L.
Well, I mean, I guess in English it's been like B-E-R-E-L, but I'm sure there are variants with a Y and whatever.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification here. 855-839-1210.
So, doing some research here.
Yeah.
Beryl, B-E-R-E-L, is the spelling, how it's usually spelled with Yiddish. B-E-R-Y-L is a variant spelling of the Yiddish male name Beryl, but it's also a girl's name of Greek origin, meaning sea green jewel. Beryl being a jewel or green gem, allegedly.
Well, I understand with hurricanes, with stuff like that, you run out of names over the course of time. How many times can you say Hurricane Dan? I don't remember Hurricane Dom ever, but I may have missed it.
Hurricane Dominic. Cyclone Dominic.
All right.
January 27th, 2009.
Now, one other story to tell you about is, would Democrats actually do this? Boy, I think they might. And I would love it if they do, because this will really start the tension. Democrats are weighing an early Biden nomination, meaning not waiting to the convention, doing it online. A potential date for Biden's nomination is July 21st, when the Democratic Convention's Credentials Committee meets virtually. They would do it then, Dan. Do it virtually. And then what are you going to Chicago for? Well, the crime, the shootings, the muggings, the robberies, and all that. Yeah. He would go and have fun at the convention, but he would be the nominee. I pray that they do this, because this will intensify big time what's going on. All right. And why is the Pentagon on high alert status around the world? They may have been hearing something before, or it could be people sensing weakness also. 855-839-1210.
I do have some of Biden's thoughts on Beryl if you want to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, you want that?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Look, right now we're also tracking Hurricane Beryl, which is passing through the Caribbean. It's the earliest time ever a dangerous Category 5 hurricane has been recorded in American history. People impacted islands and communities are in our prayers, and we stand by to provide assistance to them. Look, extreme weather events drive home a point that I've been saying for so long. Ignoring climate change is deadly and dangerous and irresponsible.
Okay, then. 855-839-1210. You get on board. More of your calls coming up with Dom.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
You can host the best backyard barbecue
when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics. 215-999-3000.
Tired of your old kitchen or bathroom? Then you need to give Kitchen Magic a call. They offer no shortage of solutions for any room in your home. With a new vanity and a tub shower conversion, you'll love that new bathroom. Plus an industry-leading warranty, a 10-year recipient of Lehigh Valley's top workplaces. Right now, they're offering 12 months of no payments, no interest financing with 10% off your remodel. Get your free in-home consultation today at kitchenmagic.com. That's kitchenmagic.com.
The ride you want is what we've got. So, drive a little.
Save a lot.
At TurnersvilleJeep.com. Come to Turnersville and get incredible zero-down lease deals on a massive inventory of new Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram trucks. That's right. Save big with special zero-down lease deals at Turnersville. The ride you want is what we've got. So, drive a little.
Save a lot.
TurnersvilleJeep.com. Your premier tri-state Jeep, Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and Wagoneer dealer.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The pleasant air mass remains in place across the region today. We'll have plenty of sunshine. It'll be hotter but not humid with a high 85. Tonight, mostly clear and still comfortable with a low 66. And for Wednesday, similar conditions, sunshine, hot but not humid, high 87.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it is Dom time. So I'm not sure what Republicans are thinking, but let me see if I can make a broad point about one of the best things that Trump does, his thinking, and an area that illustrates it is abortion. So several people today now are taking a look at what are the Republicans going to do. We're almost at convention time, and before you have the convention, you have the platform. The Trump platform on abortion, when you see it come out, is going to be short and sweet and not what these activists want. But Republicans put one of the people in charge, Ed Martin. Now, I've been at events with a guy, nice enough personally. He's the president of the Eagle Forum, Phyllis Schlafly. And he is, over the years, someone who said no exceptions, national ban on abortion, put the woman who gets an abortion in jail also, criminal penalties. And he's on the platform committee. So the media, the CNNs of the world and the others, going to town today with a preview trying to switch the subject back to this. The genius of Trump is he's got his people, when we get right down to it, they're not going to allow anything like this. They're going to uproot the Republican platform on things like abortion. In other words, he's not going to give them ammunition. And guys like this from the Eagle Forum are exactly the people you don't want to be in charge of something like this. This is so winnable at this point. So what are they hanging on to? Well, internally, Democrats are hanging on to Biden because they realize even with all the difficulties, these others are marginal at best, their chance to win, particularly Harris. They're holding on to abortion. They're trying to use the immunity case to say Trump is going to come and kill me, or Biden could kill Trump today if he wanted to. Wild stuff, they're saying. We've seen the first Democrat that's elected in office dog it in Texas, say that Biden ought to step down. That just happened in the last hour or so. So you put all these things together, the last thing we want to do is give them any ammo on the issue of abortion or anything like that, okay? And Trump has put into play exactly what he's been enunciating about abortion. I mean, he's had some missteps over the last couple of years, but in the end, when they got to Iowa, Ron DeSantis is the one with the misstep. 6-week ban, woman wouldn't even know she's pregnant sometimes, the whole thing, that's not going to fly. And when he runs again, and DeSantis will, he's really going to have a Paul in the road to Damascus turn on that, because he's never going to win if he goes down that path. Look at what Bob Casey's doing here in Pennsylvania against McCormick on the issue of life and saying some of the things McCormick has said. Here's a guy that's supposed to be Mr. Pro-Life among Democrats based on his father, going after McCormick because he's not extreme on abortion. This is the issue. This is what they're still going to play with. What else do they have to go with? You saw it during the debate. So they're pivoting now back to January 6th. They want to make this, they want to push it in with the immunity decision and say this Supreme Court, they're even pushing it in. Washington Post, big piece I was reading last night. How is it that we have a minority, meaning that Trump doesn't have the majority of Americans on his side? All he has is the Supreme Court and winning certain states, and he got over the finish line. That minority rule is running the country. Well, we've been through this how many times? This is not a country decided by the popular vote. The compromise was to give even the small states, the rural states, some say in our elections. And that's where the Electoral College comes in. It's genius. So the whole thing they're going with here is somehow or another, if Trump becomes president, it's not fair. It's an abuse of the system. And these Supreme Court justices are doing it. So they'll run on the Supreme Court again. That's where we go. That's why Republicans have to win the battle on exactly what the presidential immunity means. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. Two Hope Mulligans is in your plan tomorrow, 310 West Hildreth. It's going to be a lot of fun with Jeff Van Drew, but also on a serious note, Jeff Van Drew is a great pipeline to President Trump. We'll talk with him about that and how he sees the convention and things of that nature coming up. And we have a scotch tasting with him, too. And we have the candidate for Senate there, Curtis Badshaw, will be in the House. And he's got a winnable race against Andy Kim, who's another guy masquerading as a moderate. So Biden is going to meet with these Democrat governors to what? Reassure them, take their pulse, to say they did. I don't see any of them, like a Josh Shapiro and these others. They're not going to jump out there. This guy Doggett is going to pay a political price for this. The thing to watch for is now, does somebody else jump out there today that's an elected official? All right, would they jump out and you start to see a snowball? This is a slow-moving thing. Biden's under fire, but it looks like he's going to survive till the election, or at least for a pretty good time. You couldn't ask for a better scenario. And Biden's still the guy that you want to run against. Any of these others are definitely beatable. But this is something you can't unwatch. There is no escaping it. All right. And Dr. Jill Biden on the cover of Vogue and some of her comments about she feels your pain when it comes to grocery shopping and all. Yeah, right. All right, phone lines, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Well, 4th of July this Thursday. Are you all set? You will be with one call to Captain Chucky's. Check out their all-new wild shrimp scampi ravioli. Ro and I had it last night. To be honest, there was a little bit of a fight over that last ravioli, but I got it. I told her I have to talk about this.
Wait,
you don't, Ro.
Hold on.
When you're willing,
you got to give it to the wife. Happy wife, happy life.
When you're willing to come on and talk about Captain Chucky's, then I'll give up the wild shrimp ravioli. Till then, it was an odd number, so that's how it worked. Too bad. And Chucky's is teaming up with Vera Pasta, offering lobster, crab, and now the wild shrimp ravioli. Rose's favorite, though, she had too. Remember the brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. That Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake is perfect for the 4th of July. What it is a delicious, creamy, 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up. And it's a perfect time to check out all their offerings. Stuffed mushrooms, various salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, desserts. Captain Chucky's, several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes, dessert, soup, sides, appetizers even. The highest quality ingredients in their Gulf shrimp. Summertime. It's the perfect hit for a holiday anytime. Always wild caught, never farm raised. My favorite, get that Dom roll. And you can visit Captain Chucky's. There's a location near you. Just go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. If you're headed to the Jersey Shore, why, the website is CaptainChucky'sAtTheShore.com. There's a pop-up Captain Chucky's. Just found this out yesterday in Wildwood, 5th and New Jersey Avenues, inside the Beach Bowls establishment. So we got you covered right there in Wildwood now. WeLoveCrabCakes.com.
Hey, it's Nick Kale. Join me again on the first Wednesday of the month for WPHT's Veteran Spotlight. It's a program where we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. Tomorrow morning, we honor retired Marine Corps veteran Colonel Tom Manion for his service and contributions to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
It's hot out there, and your inefficient windows mean high utility bills all year long. Window Nation sells some of the most energy-efficient windows you can buy and was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 free, plus 0 down and no interest or payments for 2 years. Stop paying more than you have to. Schedule an in-home estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Need new furniture? You need Bucks County Estate Traders 4th of July sale. Now through July 6th, everything store-wide is 20% off. Select patio and garden furniture 75% off. High-end, name brand and vintage, mid-century, antique, European, and American furniture. More than 10,000 items in stock. Bucks County Estate Traders has it all. So save big through July 6th at their showroom in Hatfield or at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together, we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission: to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
It's Dom time. Dom Giordano. Weekdays, noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
With Dom.
That's right. It's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan time with Dom. And Dom, very exciting 2 nights ago. Maisie, very into this. Me, kind of into it. But the Olympic trials, Dom, Simone Biles killing it. The gymnastics, really the only thing I care about. She loves the track and field. But real quick, that gymnastics team really returning. It's Biles, Suni Lee, Jordan Childs, and Jade Carey from last time. But also 16-year-old Hesley Rivera now joining the team from Oradell, New Jersey. Congratulations, Hesley. But I go to the Olympics, Dombies. I want to bring up the story of a runner, someone from the track and field world, that being Nikki Hiltz, Dom. She becomes the first, or they become the first transgender runner to ever participate in the Paris Olympics. Now, let me clarify, though. I want to say conservatives don't take the bait. Because Nikki Hiltz, she is non-binary, which allows her to compete, but she was born female and she identifies as non-binary, competing against females, never going through hormone therapy. So I personally think that's fine. I don't care how she identifies. My whole thing when it comes to transgender athletes competing with others is a male or someone born a male having the hormone advantage entering into the world of women's sports. But here we have a woman who identifies as non-binary competing against other women. I think that's okay.
So she's done nothing, you're saying?
No hormone therapy.
Nothing.
She just identifies
she
as
just
transgender.
Identifies as being a male or non-binary. Okay.
The headlines are all going to be now that we have a transgender runner
right.
participating in the Olympics, and it's going to set off some people. I don't think that's deserved here.
Okay, yeah.
But here we have a Dr. Dom chiming in on the Joe Biden situation. Take a listen. We all know the voice.
I can just comment about what I know about Joe Biden.
What do you know about him?
Yeah,
Dr. Fauci.
I know that he's a very insightful guy. When we brief him, he asks very probing questions. He's very reflective. He thinks about things. He's firm in his decisions. It is a very positive experience of working with him. And I worked with him on a much more regular basis during the 2 years I was in the White House with him, in the sense we
you were chief medical officer. He made you chief medical officer.
Indeed, and it was a very positive experience. One, because he always wanted to know what the data was. He wanted to know what the information. You don't go into the office with Joe Biden and just make a statement without being able to back it up, because he'll question you about, are you sure of that? Where did you get that information? Is that information been verified? So
here's another line from Fauci coming right now, Dom.
Back and forth that I had with him, and it was a very positive experience.
You never saw him, in your experience, just losing trains of thought?
No.
Oh, come on.
He's on Amtrak. He can't lose a train of thought. I'm Joe. I'm on Amtrak.
Come on. The guy has definitely lost trains of thoughts in front of you, Dr. Fauci, before.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, Dan,
it's
it's this false cover. Biden wants all these data points like he's a big policy guru, and then he can't say a sentence. It's maddening. It's maddening.
And then finally, Dom, the legal expert Rosie O'Donnell chiming on the Trump Supreme Court ruling. Dom, Rosie O'Donnell, here she is.
Those are the squirrels talking. They probably want more walnuts. All right, I'm going to go feed them. Listen, I'm depressed myself, but I'm trying to tell you out there, if you are, you got to hold on. We've survived all the depressing days so far. We'll survive this one. Reach out for your friends for help. Tell the people that you love how you feel. And know that this country, I believe, is going to right itself and oust him for good in November. And, boy, I pray. That's all I got to say.
Rosie O'Donnell on the verge of tears, saying a sad, sad day for the nation after this Trump Supreme Court ruling, Dom.
All right, coming up, we have Jay Town, one of our favorite Trump surrogates, big-time lawyer, prosecutor. And I just read Alvin Bragg's statement about pushing back. And here's the thing. We're going to get this guy to answer. I'm going to take my time with it so that, it's a big thing here. On the hush money case, Bragg says, yes, some of the testimony, some of the materials we presented to the jury would be, he admits, precluded. They were during the official business. If he's admitting that, how in the world does this case stand there? I mean, you can't be a little in with something. If it's precluded, you have to go back and do the case over, I would think. All right, we're going to ask Jay Town all this next. Dom's Money Melody and your calls on Talk Radio 1210.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like, 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, everyone. Matt here from Emmons Roofing and Siding. There are a lot of companies out there that say they do roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Some good, some not so good. Be careful of those that say buy two, get two free. Does that really make sense? Think about it. At Emmons, we don't offer gimmicks, just quality products installed by our experienced craftsmen. We do offer 12 months, same as cash financing, though. That's not a gimmick. That's because we know how tough it is for some people right now to get these projects done. If you need roofing, siding, or windows and doors, call us for a free estimate today at 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, let's talk premium. These are top-of-the-line appliances that dream kitchens are made of. If you're planning an investment like this in your home, where you buy is as important as what you buy. At National Appliance Warehouse, we're committed to delivering the superior buying experience you deserve. Our showroom features beautifully displayed premium appliances of every major brand, including highly sought-after Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove. Our team of gurus is well-versed at guiding you as you navigate the same appliances you'd find in the most magnificent homes and kitchens of cooking enthusiasts. And the National Appliance Warehouse team has the expertise to properly deliver and install your stunning new appliances.
The amazing 4th of July mega sale is underway at National Appliance Warehouse. Purchase a qualifying Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove appliance package and choose 3 years of additional warranty or a rebate up to $2,500. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Where else should we celebrate Independence Day? I know Independence Hall, okay, the founders and all that stuff, but Johnny Z and Mulligan's, they're founders. The Dom Giordano Show always heads there. It happens tomorrow, the broadcast, noon until 3, 310 West Hildreth Avenue in Wildwood. Congressman Jeff Van Drew will be there. There might be some scotch tasting. Great food, great drink, lots of fun. Tomorrow, noon until 3 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
This is a test.
of the emergency alert system. This has been a test of the emergency alert system.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, Dom Giordano's show, and it's always great that we have scheduled Jay Town to talk with you. He was one of our favorite Trump surrogates, probably the favorite during the so-called hush money case. And I'm reading from this tweet, the Manhattan DA's office will not oppose Trump lawyers' request to delay the July 11 sentencing after the legal team of Trump filed a motion Monday to get the conviction tossed following the Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. They claim that certain evidence introduced in the hush money trial was in fact precluded under the Supreme Court test. Now that's big time stuff here. Why is Bragg, is it just strategic to sign off on saying, yes, let's allow this to simmer for a while? Let's go to Jay Town here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jay, great to speak with you as always, but particularly as this came down earlier today.
Yeah, hey, Dom, always good to be on with you. Surprisingly, this is the right thing for Alvin Bragg to do. The opinion yesterday, the issue here for the Manhattan case is that the Supreme Court was very clear and very deliberate in even listing certain types of activities which the president is immune from prosecution. And then they went further and said, if he's immune from prosecution for those activities, no evidence of those activities are admissible at a trial. And just like, Dom, if there was an illegal search and seizure, the evidence that's seized from that Fourth Amendment violation is inadmissible. And if it was admitted and the jury considered it, then it's reversible error. It's not harmless error. It is reversible error.
Jay, let me take it back to it, though. How does Trump's social media, what argument would you make that Trump's social media on this while president, I think everybody agrees this happened while president, and some discussions in the Oval Office would be official duties versus private because he's trying to settle this matter? What's the metric? What are you using to make the argument that that's under the category of official presidential duties?
It's a great question. So during the Trump administration, you'll recall, your listeners will recall, that Donald Trump wanted to block certain people or maybe even delete certain tweets. And the court said, no, your personal Twitter account is now going into the National Archives. Your communication with the world, to include the 340 Americans by Twitter, is now part of your official record, your official duties. So a court has already declared that any tweet, and they mentioned this in the opinion yesterday, that any tweet by Donald Trump when he was president of the United States, or any president, is a part of his official duties because communicating issues with the people is a very broad-scoped Article II function of the chief executive. And so all of those tweets that they introduced that involved Michael Cohen or Stormy Daniels or anything as it regarded the hush money trial in Manhattan would be inadmissible evidence, and it was all admitted.
Yeah, I remember that now. I was in the camp, I don't know about you, that thinks, hey, I should be able to delete these people that are on Twitter with me. But I heard the argument on the other side. The archivist got this. Is it just the social media, though? Or is it the Trump discussions? Were they introduced into the hush money case in the Oval Office in any way? And how would they be official?
I'd have to actually do some research on what evidence was actually admitted that involved discussions with, let's say, a chief of staff or something like that. I don't think there were many, but any communications with, let's say, Vice President Pence in the J6 context, those would all be covered by the immunity decision yesterday, and that would be inadmissible evidence. And so if he was speaking about this with members of his staff, so Hope Hicks, just ringing a bell, that he called Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Hope Hicks to talk about the Stormy Daniels case. The communications with Hope and with Sarah would be with Trump would be inadmissible. The communications between Cohen and Sarah and Hope would all be inadmissible hearsay. So that there's a lot of evidentiary machinations here that are troublesome for the Manhattan DA.
Yeah, well, you just brought up, and thank you, because I haven't seen anybody else take us back to the Trump Twitter. I was wondering about the social media. That's exactly on point. Who gets to determine whether or not we have reversible error here? And I guess we have to do a new trial as a remedy. But who decides? And then is the only remedy a new trial?
So here's what's interesting about this, which further complicates things for the Manhattan DA. So for your listeners, and I know you know this, but until you're sentenced, the case is not finished. You're not actually convicted yet until a sentence is final and adjudged, and that gavel comes down. So as of right now, the case isn't over. If Judge Merchan makes pretrial determinations about certain evidence that was admitted and says none of it is subject to the immunity case, well then all of this evidence has to be explored interlocutory, meaning pretrial. So they can immediately appeal Merchan's decision to the next competent jurisdiction, which would probably be a federal district court in the Second Circuit there in Manhattan. From there, it goes to the Second Circuit. From there, it goes to the United States Supreme Court. So there's actually an appellate avenue of approach here where Trump could run out for fifth just by appealing Merchan's rulings. If there's one single piece of evidence that he says is not subject to immunity, he has a right to appeal that. So it would be very interesting. And if the Second Circuit disagrees, he can go to the Supreme Court. But he can't be sentenced until those interlocutory determinations are finalized.
That's what I was going to ask you next, because then politically, Jay, because you are in both fields here, Trump can say, as you just said, I'm not convicted here. These things are still ongoing. And I think now, bringing up the Twitter case again, et cetera, it helps people politically to look at all this and say, yeah, wait a minute. He's immune to this, and they're rushing this. They're going forward just because they want that tag to be on him. I think that gives him some more talking points on this.
It certainly does, not to mention the 30 other talking points of reversible error that Bragg and Merchan and their performance of their duties, violating Trump's due process rights on a daily basis. But those are not interlocutory. Those would be to the Court of Appeals in New York, so that's post-sentencing. So he actually has the opportunity here to delay sentencing for quite a long time through its appellate chain.
All right, I wanted you to put on the political and the great legal hat here, Jay. Now, the other issue with this playing out with the immunity thing, Democrats, some of the stuff we can dismiss as preposterous, that Biden can put a hit on conservative justices. Most of it. Yeah. But I don't see Republicans countering other than saying correctly, this is constitutionally sound. Come on now, there's no leap here. What would you say to the American public? I think we have to do a better job here of saying this Supreme Court decision is exactly where it should be. The avenue I would take is to say these people are just preposterous with the stuff that they're bringing up here. They're just trying to con you rather than just say it's constitutional. What would you say?
Well, I don't speak for the former president, but what I would say, and what I'm going to say right now, to make it even more obvious, what I'm going to say is that the law before yesterday, woke up Monday morning, was that the chief executive, the president of the United States, has immunity from prosecution from official actions that he takes while in office. The law, when you woke up this morning, is exactly the same. The Supreme Court just confirmed that yesterday because they had to, because they were forced to, because of the lawfare prosecution brought by Jack Smith. What's more difficult for Jack Smith is that the president is presumed to be cloaked in this immunity, and Smith is now going to have to prove why he shouldn't be immune. And the motive of the president, why he took an action, if it was reason 485 was actually an Article 2 reason, but the first 484 were all private reasons or personal reasons, doesn't matter. There just has to be some official, the action had to have some sort of executive function for the president to be cloaked in immunity. And once he's cloaked, that particular action cannot be the subject of a crime, nor can any evidence of that action be admitted in a trial. Now, think about it this way. Here's a great example. I know we just have a minute or two left, but think about a DEA agent. Take the president out of it. A DEA agent does a controlled purchase or a controlled sale of an illegal narcotic to a known drug trafficker, right? And he's part of the executive branch because he's in the DEA. If he's breaking the law in every county and every city in the country by distributing a kilo of cocaine to somebody. Now, if he doesn't get immunity for that because it's part of his official function, right, to control this buy and get a drug dealer off the street, then you're not going to be able to do that action any longer, or they're going to be subject to these local prosecutions. Of course, he had immunity. And he had immunity when you woke up Monday morning, and he had it the day before, and he'll have it 500 years from now, this great country, because we recognize that there are certain functions that our executive branch has to perform that can't be the subject of criminal prosecution because a state under federalism principles or Congress under separation of powers principles cannot criminalize the executive functions of the Article 2 executive branch.
I love it. Yeah.
In the Constitution.
Jay, that's exactly. I know you got to run. The bottom line was, I thought this was just clarifying what we always thought, that the president had to have some qualified immunity. Jay, I know you have to run, but come back soon. Thank you.
Have me back, Dom. Good to talk with you.
All right, Jay Town here on Talk Radio 1210. You heard what he said. Now, this is big stuff. Is it going to happen that way? Well, the ball's in the court of this judge. And Bragg saying, well, they're going to need more time on this. It's obvious. The Twitter, remember that? And I've supported the idea that Trump should be able to block you. Well, no, National Archives. You can't be blocking stuff like that. That was the argument. So the argument here is they did use tweets around all this stuff, particularly with Michael Cohen. Well, if they did, the jury saw that as evidence, and they saw that as that, yeah, Trump's guilty here. That's why he's doing that. Well, that's reversible. Could we see this thrown out? Well, not anytime soon. You heard how long it would take. So what's Marshawn going to do? Well, we got to think about that because it was already complicated. But I think he is not going to sentence on July 11th. You're not going to see it. It's going to be pushed back. And I don't think it's going to be pushed back 2 weeks because I think he just made a brilliant case. This is very reversible. How do they answer that? All right, 855-839-1210. You get in. But right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Money gone.
All right, today we're playing for a signed copy of Rand Paul's book, Deception, The Great COVID cover-up. Dan, what do you have today?
Dom, we're doing one of your all-time favorites. Let's play a song that we all love.
Okay.
Sung in a different language and see if our listener could tell us what language it's being sung in. Dom, today we're asking for an all-time great photograph, so I thought I'd take Paul Simon's Kodachrome and run back that in a different language. Couple clues about today's country. The average citizen consumes more cheese per year and sleeps more than any other country, and it's the only army, Dom, that features a corkscrew on their army knife. So take a listen. We want to know what language this is sung in today.
Quand je pense à tout ce qu'on m'a mis dans la tête au collège, je m'étonne de pouvoir penser encore.
Might be a little easy.
A lot of sleepers, huh? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of sleepers, a lot of cheese eaters.
All right, hit us with that. 855-839-1210 will send you Rand Paul's great book. I think there's a chapter in there, Dr. Fauci, I see nothing. Sharp as a tack with Joe Biden. I was bringing stuff from J-Town there, though. Bringing up the Twitter and Trump. And that's right. This was brought up. Any evidence brought up in there that throws the whole thing out. Now, they're going to say that was unofficial. It's official. He was told that's official. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Jump in. Get that. Get the belt today. Get the prize. What language is this in? And we'll take more calls coming up on Talk Radio 1210.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
Over the summer, get a jump on the new school year for your child. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and make the most of these summer months and get a plan in place for your student this fall. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@METC.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200.
35% of crash deaths in Pennsylvania involve drivers under the influence. Drunk, high, buzzed, wasted. Whatever you are, don't become a statistic. Make a plan to get home safe. Designate a driver, ride share, or stay the night. Be safe, PA. Visit pendot.pa.gov/safety for more. Substance use disorder treatment is available. Call 1-800-662-HELP or find a treatment facility at treatmentatlas.org. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Calling on Percy to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
Download it now.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's exactly right. All right. It's the torture before July 4th in a different language.
And
Think carefully.
I've been
Go
corrected.
through those clues again.
Yeah, so I said that they both eat the most cheese and sleep the most out of any country.
Yes.
Well, no, they don't sleep the most. I was wrong, but they do indeed eat the most cheese. So 57 pounds of cheese per year, and they sleep about 9 hours per night, which is much more than most countries, but allegedly there are more countries that sleep more than them. But I'll throw out another clue that I did throw out earlier. The only army that features a corkscrew on their army knife, Dom.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
So here's a clue. Take a listen.
Je pense à tout ce qu'on m'a mis dans la tête au collège.
It's really good.
Yes.
M'étonne de pouvoir penser.
They got the cadence. Yeah,
it
they got the rhythm of it. It works. So let's go to Jim in Warminster. All right, Jim, what is the country?
That's going to be Switzerland.
Oh, that's what I would have guessed. I was going to go through my whole thing, Dan, that they speak, they're so neutral. It's not just French and Italian, I guess, but Rhonish is a language they speak. It's a made-up type of thing. All right, so let's go to Gary in Springfield. Gary, what's the country?
Hey, Dom, I'm going to guess France.
All right, it is the French. Why did you think that, Gary?
Well, I speak French.
Oh, okay.
I'll do it, Gary.
All right, I will put you
First
on
time
hold.
that's actually happened, I think.
Yeah, my French is that bad, I wasn't even paying attention to it.
Gary and Springfield,
I
we
don't-
played like multiple different languages, and I think people just happen to randomly guess it correctly, but I don't think we've ever had a speaker of the language call in and say, yeah, I knew the words.
Yeah, I should know French. I thought it was Swiss. Rhonish is the other language they use. I mean, I think it's 4 or 5 languages. That's how neutral they are.
One more clue that I didn't get to. It's illegal to kiss on train platforms when the train is on the platform, because allegedly people were kissing so much, being such a romantic city of Paris, that it was making trains late, so train conductors demanded that they make it illegal to kiss while the train's on the platform.
Let's let's call over to SEPTA and find out what their rule is. Well, if there's no gunfire at that point, you may kiss. Yeah, I love to see the SEPTA rules on the platform. What's allowed, what's not allowed.
There's a lot allowed, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so J-Town just beautifully put what's breaking today better than what we could do anywhere else. Bottom line is Alvin Bragg is allowing 2 weeks. I think it's going to be more than 2 weeks. And he said something key there, too. You're not guilty until you're sentenced, until sentence is pronounced. In other words, this case is still ongoing. And that's where the political part comes in. How can this be pointed out? The bottom line is he mentioned the social media part. That's the part I remember. Remember that with Trump and social media? The idea he ought to be able to block you, which I think he should be. I think anybody ought to be able to do that. Oh, no, the pesky archivist. Remember? Nope, you can't do that because this is the official record. So people can be saying the most outrageous things and you wouldn't be able to do anything. I don't know what would happen now with Elon Musk, what he tried to do with Twitter or not, but okay. Well, they entered in the social media, apparently the attacks or the Trump going after Michael Cohen. Remember this? It had to do with the gag order too and all that. Okay. So does that mean this is reversible, and who's going to determine that? The more important thing is this. How quickly does this play out? In other words, does it add to the idea that this is just a kangaroo court? Does it get overturned? Does there have to be a new trial? Can they say he's a convicted felon then when there's been no real determination? And how do you play with that? Because that's one of their big things. That's what Biden tried to say in the debate. This is a big story here. And I don't know about discussions in the Oval Office with Hope Hicks or anything else around Stormy Daniels. And that was entered in as that. I'm not sure. That sounds to me as private. Just because it's in the Oval Office, it still can be private. But the social media part of this, that was a really good argument. That was already deemed not to be personal, to be presidential, official duties, communicating with the people. You can't hide that. You can't block them. We have to go back and see exactly what was said, how it was said. But I think this could be very big. That's why Alvin Bragg is agreeing to this 2 weeks. Now, what is this Marchand guy going to do? He hasn't said anything yet. Will he still go forward? And if he does, people are going to see this more and more for what it is. And on the upside for Democrats, they'll say the Supreme Court is now letting Trump out of this. We're a little bit ahead of the curve. We'll have more tomorrow at Mulligan's once we see this play out. We have Jeff Andrew at 1:30 tomorrow. Going to have a lot of fun with the Scotch thing, but he is the pipeline to Trump. And we'll bring you that. We'll bring you this Curtis Badshaw, the candidate for the Senate in New Jersey, who I think has a real shot against Andy Kim. But we want you in the place. A lot of fun tomorrow, too, at Mulligan's. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of the Badshaw is the name. I'm sorry. We're also going to have several listeners, the frequent callers and all that. Everybody will be there. So 855-839-1210, you get on board. Now, one other thing. I'm going to ask Jeff Andrew about this. A friend of mine, though, suggested it, that we led off the show today telling you, here comes Murphy again. The Biden administration approves these huge offshore wind projects. This is Atlantic Shores. They got the go-ahead yesterday from the Department of the Interior. Now, Trump would stop this the first 30 seconds that he's actually president. The Inquirer says it marks a major victory for Governor Phil Murphy after another major offshore wind project proposed by Ørsted fell through last fall. It didn't fall through. We stopped them. We beat Phil Murphy. There would be 195 turbine generators for Atlantic Shores offshore wind, which is not just AC, it's also Brigantine. And the lease area, Dan and I were made, well, first of all, these are each 1,048 feet high, slightly taller than the Comcast Center Tower in Philadelphia. And it's amazing the acreage this wind farm would take up. It was 102,124 acre span. Wow. What a monstrosity, right?
That's huge.
So the proposal, and see if Jeff Andrew might like it, President Trump ought to go to the beaches again, this time to AC. It would be fun. Or maybe even better, Brigantine. And talk about what's coming and talk about not just if he's president, he'll stop this in a heartbeat. But remember, when he went to Wildwood, there was a significance of several smart people saying, you know what, this is where people, middle class, go to vacation. The Wildwoods of the world. Wildwood, famous for that.
Can you give me the acreage again with the number?
Yes. The number the Inquirer says is 102,124 acre span.
So that's about 160 square miles.
Let me write that in there, okay.
So the total area of Philadelphia is 142 square miles.
Wow, wait a minute, Dan. That's a great way to make people see this. So it's 100.
Now that's including like the entire city of Philadelphia, not just Center City, the entire city of Philadelphia.
142 square miles, Philadelphia. So this would be Philadelphia and Camden. I'll throw in.
Yeah, let's
Camden
see,
might be 18
Camden
square miles.
Let's see how many.
It's probably more than 18, but
10.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
so
right. Wait
10,
a minute.
So
all right, we got to keep going.
142.7 plus
All right.
10.3 is.
What's the next little town there? Woodland. Let's throw that in.
So Woodland.
Maybe it doesn't come up easily. What the heck? Throw Haddonfield in if you have to.
No, it says.
Yeah.
No, it's Woodland Township. I don't know. Let's do Haddonfield. Yeah, Haddonfield works. Haddonfield, New Jersey square mile is about 2.84. So yeah, we can fit Camden, Haddonfield, and Philadelphia all within this area.
Wow, that is. I'm going to use that forever. Did I ever tell you there was a Republican mayor alive for 3 years while Billy the Kid was on it? The same kind of thing. So that's how big this acreage is. That's how big this monstrosity will be.
Pensauken's 12, plus Camden is 10, so that's 22, plus Philadelphia is 142, so I'd bring it up to 164. Yeah, so just about the size of Pensauken, Camden, and Philadelphia. So this little area, just right across the bridge, combined with the city of Philadelphia, is about how big this proposed area is.
All right, so Trump should go to the beaches, take this on, where people, middle class, and the argument is not just how ridiculous this is, the craziness of progressives, et cetera. It's also, this is our birthright. How many ways do we have to say it? I mean, every time I get to go to Wildwood, Roe loves the beach, as you know, and going down to Mulligan's is another day at the beach. It's just, we can't imagine it being despoiled by these maniacs. For what? And Dan's right. That's Philadelphia, Camden, Pensauken, pretty much, as a wind farm. And the height of this. I'll ask Robin Schaefer tomorrow, who'll be in studio, our Patriot of the Year locally, about this. And it is personal. You know, it's all these big things, and it's the Murphys, and it's all these elites they don't care how many whales are killed. They don't care. And they don't get it. They keep on telling us, you're not even going to be able to see it. Yeah, right. Every time I see that windmill when we go over to Brigantine, coming vis-a-vis Atlantic City, really, not good. And that's minor in comparison to what these things are going to be. So I'll ask Jeff Andrew tomorrow. Yeah, Senator, that would be a great event for Trump to make the point about these people, the power they have, how they don't care. This is progressivism. That's all that it is, run amok. I know money's involved. Phil Murphy's not getting any money out of this. He's a $100 millionaire and all. He's trying to get a gold star on climate because he wants to run nationally. And I know it's hard to believe. You think that anybody in the world would pay attention to him nationally. But what the heck? They're talking about Josh Shapiro. They're talking about the governor of Kentucky. Let's get King Philip thrown into the mix. I was telling Roe this morning, can you imagine Miss Kim in the White House with the hair? All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Fed Chairman Powell predicts a lower inflation rate in a year. Well, you know, he can predict it, Dan, but then again,
I feel like that's
in a year, another year, we have to wait for a lower. And not only that, he's being nebulous. So let's say it's 3.2 now, something. Sometimes it goes up a little bit each month. 3.1.5? That's lower.
Sounds like the last kind of hope. Like a coach that is about to get fired from a football team gets pulled into the GM. It's like, next year we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Vote me back. I'll
exactly.
bring back another year. Sure.
Well, next year we're not going to lose as badly, given how insignificant this is. They're only going to beat us by a field goal. It's progress. All right, 855-839-1210. Hit us, too, with that all-time photo, a photo that we want here. I took off Iwo Jima and took off, of course, the Kiss. And, Dan, yours was, again?
The skyscraper guys and the Hindenburg.
Yes. Okay, those are great. Hit us with yours. We'll put you in the running to get your name into the hat. And tomorrow at Mulligan's, one of the things, we got this preoccupation. Make sure that we have the voice of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, of who you wouldn't want to be trapped in an elevator or a room with for any length of time. Because I was
a conversation, honestly, John, that is taking place among elites.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Try not to make it political, though. You know, I'm trying to. Dr. Jill Biden, I couldn't take it. She has reached a level of just sheer driven Evita-like power here.
Terrell will be stuck in an elevator with Joe Biden.
Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, too. She would be worse, though. By the way, somebody online, I'll go to a call in a minute, but I do have a poll in New Jersey where President Trump is up in New Jersey. It is an interactive poll, IA poll. Trump 41, Biden 40, RFK 7. So there's several polls out there reporting here that, and in New Hampshire, that's a key one. New Hampshire's winnable. Trump has jumped. There's been a 12-point shift in New Hampshire. Now, this is a little unsettled. We don't know fully how this is playing out. I think it's the best of both worlds. I'll explain why coming up. 855-839-1210.
The pleasant air mass remains in place across the region today. We'll have plenty of sunshine. It'll be hotter but not humid with a high 85. Tonight, mostly clear and still comfortable with a low 66. And for Wednesday, similar conditions, sunshine, hot but not humid, high 87.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-688-6641.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000.
LifeSurge is coming to Reading on Saturday, July 13th. Be inspired and equipped to grow your financial resources for Kingdom Impact, featuring leaders in faith and finance, including two-time National Football Champion Tim Tebow, Life Without Limbs Nick Vujicic, Duck Dynasty's Willie Robertson, football legend Brian Dawkins, pastor and author Craig Groeschel, plus worship artists Natalie Grant and Matthew West. That's LifeSurge, Saturday, July 13th. Tickets on sale at lifesurge.com.
The forecast for hot summer weather should come as no surprise. And the forecast for high energy costs shouldn't either. PJ Fitzpatrick has a great plan to cool your electric bill. Replace your leaky old windows with energy efficient and budget friendly insulated windows. The PJ Fitzpatrick team, voted best of Philly, has replaced hundreds of thousands of windows. And they've earned thousands of 5-star reviews. Call today and save thousands on your windows and electric bill. Visit trustpj.com today for a free window consultation.
This is Larry Sinus with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Sinus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano show. A lot of response to J-Town, both on what he said about the hush money case, but how to prove the immunity case to the American public. Republicans have to do a better job on this, as Democrats are getting away with the media of saying preposterous things, but then it plays into politically save democracy and all that stuff. So that's a job to be on that. Scott in Mount Laurel's next on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Dom. First of all, I will be there tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Heck yeah, man.
Maybe show off, at some point there, Dan, we got to get him in to do a little commentary. Maybe I should bring a football and throw it, and Scott can do some commentary there.
Scott, can you be there for 1:30? I might give you a microphone during the
Scotch.
tasting.
Yeah.
Scotch tasting. Maybe do the play-by-play of the.
Yes.
I would be glad to do it. I will definitely be there. I'm going to try to be there about 11:30, but I'll stay the whole time. And I'm.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Just remind listeners, Scott's the kind of guy that sat in with Crucky and others for the Phillies broadcasts in the past. So.
And told Cruck that he ran like a gazelle.
Some professional experience.
Yes, exactly.
I will have to do my Scotch research tonight. You got to be prepared. You know that.
Love it.
But now, Tom, I got to take you on something you said yesterday. Right after I got off the air, you made some kind of a comment like you didn't think that Dr. J was that good.
Yeah, with I didn't. No. I mean, as far I'm trying to reassemble the conversation. I would say this: shooting suspect, as far as spectacular, etc. But no, Dr. J in the end is not a top 10 basketball player of all time. No way.
I think he's given short shrift because of the bias today towards shooting. And the reality is, I've even looked at it because I've had this debate with people. He scored more points per shot in his career than Larry Bird did. But Bird is the better quote-unquote shooter, but Doc was able to get better shots.
All right, well, if I'm forming a team, I'm taking Larry Bird over Doc. I'm taking Kobe over him. I'm taking Michael Jordan. He's top 20. He's top 20 all time, I guess.
We'll debate it further another time, I guess.
After a scotch or two, I might be convinced.
Steph Curry or Dr. J, bigger legacy?
That's what I'm thinking. What's that, Dan?
Is it Steph Curry or Dr. J? Who's going to have a bigger legacy?
Dr. J.
Wow.
Dr. J, no question.
The championships that Steph has?
Yeah, but it's it's Dan. It's one of a kind. It's the hair. It's the certain dunks. It's the scoop shot against the Lakers. Nobody else could do that. Yeah.
And the thing on real quick on the immunity, we have to distinguish publicly personal immunity versus presidential immunity. The Democrats are all over the place saying, "Oh, now Trump can go shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue." No. We have to really be very clear and explain. It doesn't let him be a criminal. It just means that he can't be criminalized for acting as the president.
Yes, but I think we need better examples that are put. For example, preemptory shot by allegedly one of our own. Amy Coney Barrett said the so-called fake electors, with all deference to her, Scott, they weren't fake electors. That's a bogus term. That would not be presidential official act. So that's what you need. We need examples here, and then the most compelling example will be exactly what this means.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's going to be difficult but we're going to have to do that. Otherwise, it's going to backfire against us, even though it's certainly the right decision. It should have been a 9-0 decision, not a 6-3, but that's a whole other matter.
All right, what is your photo, Scott?
My photo is the great photo of Chuck Bednarik. He demolished Frank Gifford, and there's a photo of him standing over him, and he signs it, and he does when he was alive. He signed it, and he would inscribe it, what he said to Gifford at the time, so I won't say the bad part. He said, "This F blank game is over."
And pointing at him, too. It's a guy.
Yeah, you got to Google it if you haven't seen it. It's a great photo.
Thank you, Scott, very much. Dan, I'd say Chuck Bednarik is like Wilt. People would say he couldn't play today and all. He wouldn't be overly big today, but
what would he be, like a fullback, I guess?
No, he still would be a linebacker center, I think. Well,
I definitely a linebacker.
Yeah, he would bulk up. He would bulk up, but the guy is tough. I mean, what he did to Frank Gifford in that is just. He's not a Ray Lewis. He's not big enough, but he's along that continuum, And Wilt, I still think, is just one of a kind. Hey, we haven't settled yet, though, Dan. Any word, is Joe Biden going to come to the Art Museum and do a Rocky running up the steps event as Ro Khanna?
Do we have a report from Rocky himself as to whether?
Yeah, Rocky, is Joe coming here?
You know what you got to see? You got a better chance of Joe Biden coming here. Actually, you got a better chance of Rocky V winning an Oscar than Joe Biden coming here.
Back to Rocky V. Thank you, Rock. All right, lightning round is next. Let's get a winner. Rocky V again here on Talk Radio 1210.
Hey, it's Nick Cale. Join me again on the first Wednesday of the month for WPHT's Veteran Spotlight. It's a program where we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. Tomorrow morning, we honor retired Marine Corps veteran Colonel Tom Manion for his service and contributions to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
Crash Proof Retirement records all financial meetings. All promises made in recorded financial meetings become legally binding between Crash Proof Retirement and the investing client. Crash Proof Retirement provides all of their clients with a certificate of authenticity, further documenting that recording financial meetings brings fiduciary responsibility to the highest level.
I'm Jack Gunning from Bluebell, Pennsylvania. I don't know whether anybody can offer you the security that Crash Proof Retirement does. I have a certificate that tells me they're a fiduciary. Everything is recorded and they have your best interest at heart. That certificate is 100% documentation that you know what they're saying is 100% correct. Other companies don't have this guarantee. This certificate means an awful lot for me, and it should mean an awful lot for you.
Certify your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Downingtown Country Club, July 23rd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
Family & Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey is known for being South Jersey's diamond destination and your trusted jeweler for quality, service, and price. Choose from the largest selection of engagement rings in the area or have their master jewelers create a one-of-a-kind ring just for your special day. Visit their showroom or shop online at familyjewelers.com.
Family & Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, let's get in that all-time photo, National Camera Day here with Dom. Let's go to Joe in Exton. Joe, thanks for the wait. What do you have today, Joe?
Yes. Hello, Dom, and good Tuesday afternoon. My iconic picture is the statue of a gargoyle at the top of a New York apartment building at the beginning of the film Rosemary's Baby.
Love that film, Joe. You're a fan too, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that is a good one. And that's out of the box, though, Rosemary's Baby. I don't know how Mia Farrow was ever considered remotely attractive, even remotely attractive. And how does Frank Sinatra end up with Mia Farrow, Dan? Come on.
Wasn't that the film that, remember you were asking Joe, you know why that film's famous? And he's like, oh, no, was that the one? And he's like, oh, no, I have no idea, because there's very sexual. Is that Rosemary's Baby? Or?
Yeah, the devil. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but there is a gargoyle, and he's right. Bill and Bucks. Bill, what's yours?
Well, I don't know the name of the movie this still picture came from.
Yes.
But the image is quite clear in my mind of Marilyn Monroe standing on a grate and a gush of wind blows up her dress.
Yes, I think it's Some Like It Hot. I'm pretty sure it's Some Like It Hot. We'd have to call the Kennedy family, Dan. Get on that. They would know for obvious reasons. Let's go to Drew in Upper Darby. Hey, Drew, afternoon.
Hey, Dom, thanks, man. I was going to say Chuck Bednarik, but after I heard it, I had to put my hurry up offense in. So I'm going to go with Cassius Clay when he beat Sonny Liston in Lewiston, Maine, and he was a heavy underdog. Cassius was.
Oh yeah.
He's standing over him with a fist like he's taunting him. I remembered vividly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was
Thanks,
completely out of control at that. But he shocked the world. Dan, Sonny Liston might have been as menacing or more and bigger than Mike Tyson. The two of them fighting would have lasted, whichever one got the punch in, 30 seconds probably. And Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay beat him. The world couldn't believe it. It was, people thought it was a fix maybe, but I don't know. John in Linfield, Pennsylvania. John, what's yours?
Hi, Dom. I have the picture and the person I wouldn't want to be locked up with. The picture is the iconic Bobby Clark scoring the goal against the Bruins in the Stanley Cup Finals when he jumped in the air. And the person is a miserable dirtbag, Keith Olbermann. I could not stand being locked up with him.
That is a good one. Put that one down for tomorrow. Dan, they're already starting. Can you imagine with Keith Olbermann? Oh, my God, yes. Alan, not a guy, in Yardley. Hey, Alan, afternoon.
Hi, Dom. How you guys doing?
Good, good.
My iconic photo is one that has touched many, many, many people, and it's John saluting at his father's funeral.
That is
John Kennedy.
Yep, that is an all-timer. I don't know how old was he, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Don in Franconia on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Don. What do you have?
Hello, Dom. Thanks for taking my call. I got someone I think turned the tide in World War II and changed the way married people went on after World War II was Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, that's, I don't know a particular photo, but the poster, so it must have come from a photo, Dan.
Yeah, I think it was just a drawing. Was it based on?
Is it a drawing or a photo? Okay, we'll hash it out of here.
Naomi Parker Fraley, real person.
Yeah, okay. Bruce in the Northeast. Hey, Bruce, what's yours?
Hey, Don, you mentioned Joe Biden possibly running up the steps of the art museum.
Yes.
I can just picture Chris Christie trying to run up them steps. And his fat ass, But anyway, I just thought of that. But my answer today is a human footprint on the surface of the Earth. It's just a simple photo that just said a lot by itself,
On the moon or the Earth?
Oh, on the moon.
On the moon. Okay, gotcha. Homer in Belmar, last for you. Homer, yours?
Yeah, I'm thinking of that photo of the Challenger 2 explosion.
All right, thanks, Homer, very much. Good stuff today here, Dan. Some very new ones. That's always good.
I do like the new ones.
Give me a contender here.
Yeah, so Rosie the Riveter was indeed a real person. Just want to put that out there. But it was more of a drawing than a painting, wasn't it? I really, really liked the sports answers today. The Muhammad Ali standing over Liston was a good one. But Dom, the Beneric one was also good. I liked Bobby Clark, but the one that stood out, it was a new one to me, JFK Jr., well, not to me, but to the show, JFK Jr. saluting the father at the funeral, or Lee Harvey Oswald. Marilyn Monroe in there as well as an all-timer. Where are you leaning?
I could go a little bit new. The JFK Jr., John, is a very good one. Iconic, a generation of passing. Let's put that into the hat. Tomorrow, 310 West Hildreth, right there in Wildwood. Jeff Van Drew, will he be in a suit? How much scotch will be consumed? And a bunch of other things that we will unravel. We even have somebody, maybe I'll bring the football there, Dan. Scott of Mount Laurel can give some commentary on that for people that have never seen it. That might be an interesting thing. Anything else on deck for tomorrow?
It's going to be fantastic. So 12:30, we'll talk to our Person of the Year local, the Patriot of the Year local. 1 o'clock, Curtis Bashall stops by. 1:30, you'll have Van Drew in a Scotch tasting competition, commentated by Scott from Mount Laurel. 2 o'clock, we'll have Sea Squatch stop by and maybe some Wildwood tourism discussion as well. 2:30, Dom. By that time, I don't know if we'll still be with it, and we'll have some of our listeners stop in as well.
All right, big stuff. 310 West Hildreth. See you there tomorrow with Don, Dan. Voice of Jim Kelly will be coming through, and Roe will be there. Rich Zioli show is next. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS has raised the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes in recent years. This hits hard if you're behind on your taxes. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. If you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This July 4th, hear the boom of the fireworks, the sizzling of your grill, and the sigh of joy at the first sight of your brand new kitchen. Thanks to dynamite deals at Colonial Marble and Granite. Now enjoy $0 down and 0% monthly interest for 18 months with the purchase of a marble, granite, or quartz kitchen countertop during our Independence Day sale. Visit any Colonial showroom to discover our dazzling variety of natural and engineered stone and take advantage of these deals. But hurry, while liberty is everlasting, our sale ends on July 8th. Restrictions apply. Visit colonialmarble.net for details.
Hey, it's Nick. Recently, I visited my friends at Piazza Mazda in Westchester to check out the 2024 Mazda CX-30. The dynamic CX-30 offers 8 different trim levels, creating a perfect fit for every lifestyle. When it comes to performance, iActive all-wheel drive is standard, and the available turbocharged engines pack a surprising punch. Safety features such as blind spot monitoring and lane assist led the 2024 CX-30, earning a 5-star overall safety rating. Visit Piazza Mazda in Westchester, Reading, or online, piazzamazda.com.
I learned it from my adoptive mom.
Hold my hand.
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
What if being in recovery from a mental or substance use disorder was something we proudly showed the world? Millions of people are in recovery, sharing hope and support with family, friends, and community. Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If you want to drink, that's your business. If you want to stop, that's our business. We can help. Find Alcoholics Anonymous at AA.org.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Monica Ricks. The White House is holding its first briefing since President Biden's dismal debate performance last week. And Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre is addressing concerns about his candidacy, saying key Democrats still support Biden.
Speaker Pelosi, who's very close to the president, said it is not about performance in terms of a debate. It's about performance in a presidency.
And she cited some of his big accomplishments, including the country's economic recovery. Today, the Biden administration also issued a directive for emergency room doctors on emergency abortions. Our Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
The message follows last week's Supreme Court ruling that fell short of settling a legal dispute over whether state abortion bans supersede a federal law requiring the treatment, although it did say doctors in Idaho must be allowed to provide emergency abortions despite the state's ban. The Department of Health and Human Services has notified doctors under federal law they have a responsibility to provide stabilizing treatment, which could include rare emergency abortions.
The FDA has approved a new Alzheimer's treatment by drug maker Eli Lilly that combats the buildup of plaque linked to the disease. The drug will be available within weeks and will cost up to $32,000 for 12 months of treatment, lower if it's covered by insurance. Prosecutors in New York say they're okay with a 2-week